What's going on, everybody?
Bucket on
Welcome
today.
to episode 10 of the Four Sportsman, our weekly Sunday show. Could not get it off on Sunday, so here we are on this Labor Day to give you another episode. I'm here joined by the other sportsmen, Fabian, PerspecTV, Flea, and AllBall. And today, we're going to be talking about a couple of things as usual, including the USA's loss to Lithuania in the FIBA World Cup. And ESPN just released a top 30 of the recently announced top 75 from last year's All-Star break. So we're going to be reacting to that list. Anything else I'm forgetting, Fabian? How we doing today?
Oh, we're doing good. Labor Day weekend. Yeah, I wanted to do this yesterday. I want to do this every day, man. But we're here now, guys.
Do this every day, man. Please.
Flea, how we doing?
Yo, Dom, I'm good, baby. How you feeling today?
Very good, very good. AllBall joining us from another hotel room. This guy, I mean, he is all over the country. Vegas, Utah with Danny Ainge, and now down in the Big Easy.
Listen, man, miss y'all brothers. Love this. I'm very anxious. We started early. That's how you know our love and our passion for this is for real. This first topic, let's get it going, man. Let's get it going.
Yo, before you get in your bag, Dom, and introduce the first topic, I gotta ask OG, are you down there running around with Zion? And if so, what kind of love you been around if you're running around there with him, brother? What are you doing down there?
So
you asking about Zion?
I'm gonna be very brief. I love New Orleans. Great, the hospitality is for real. Great people, great city. I'm looking for Zion. But the security guards, they not let me get to him. Big shout out to her. Y'all know who she is. You can't get to him.
You can't get to him.
Listen, that wasn't gonna be my question. Since we're on the topic, have you seen Eminem, the real Eminem, aka Mariah Mills?
Yo, let's get focused, y'all. Let's get into it.
KP, what's going on? Executive hater in here.
What he said?
Jay Wavy, what's going on?
Me and Mariah go back. Let's go, Dom. Let's go. Come on, man. Let's go.
Y'all remember this shit? Y'all remember this shit?
So here we go. The ESPN top 30 of the top 75 are going to be sharing with you guys right here. And here it is. Can you guys see my screen?
No. You got to I'll add it right here. Look,
No.
boom.
We got it. It's pulling up right now.
The list is as follows. Michael Jordan, number 1.
Woo!
LeBron, number 2. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, 3rd. Magic. Wilt, number 5. Bill Russell, 6th. Larry Bird, 7th. Tim Duncan, 8th. Oscar Robertson getting in at 9th over Kobe and Shaq, 10 and 11. Kevin Durant over Hakeem Olajuwon. KD at 12. Hakeem at 13. 14, Dr. J. 15, Moses. Then you got Steph Curry outside of the top 15. I know Fabian's going to really like Moses over Curry. Dirk Nowitzki, number 17. 18, Giannis over Jerry West. Jerry West being 10 spots below Oscar Robertson. Wow. Number 19, Elgin Baylor, number 20. Then you get to Kevin Garnett, Gen Z's favorite player from that they never got to watch. 21, Charles Barkley, 22. Malone, 23. So 3 of the best power forwards back to back to back. Then John Stockton, 24. Number 25, David Robinson. And then the final 5, Havlicek, Isaiah Thomas, George, Mike, and Chris Paul, and D. Wade. We're going to have to talk about this. Who wants to get us started?
Wow. Hold on. I don't care who gets started, but let me just say this. Wow. That list right there, Flea, Dom, Fabian, is going to start a whole lot of mess.
Well, you know what Kobe Bryant said about ESPN? A lot of idiots over there, but continue.
Wow.
It's a bad list.
I go. As much as I love John Stockton, he doesn't belong in the top 30. Steph Curry was kind of him at 15. He deserved to be higher than that. Giannis was too high.
16, Steph Curry.
That's blasphemous. Steph Curry at 16 is ridiculous if he's arguably the second greatest point guard of all time. Okay, some people may have Isaiah Thomas over him. He's still top 3 greatest point guards all time. Giannis is too high. And who was in front of Hakeem Olajuwon?
Shaq.
Kevin Durant and Oscar Robertson.
You could zoom in on that.
I hate the list. Somebody else go ahead because I'm about to blow a gasket.
All right, let me start out with. Go ahead, go ahead, Flea.
No, Dom. I was just, I'm still kind of digesting the list. As you know, I want everybody in the comments. I want everybody that's watching live to let y'all know that we didn't see this list in pre-production at all. This is us kind of reacting live to this list. Shout out to Dom for providing this list for us and making us aware that this is even actually out there. I don't really like, y'all know I'm a big Hakeem Olajuwon fan, so I don't really like where Dream is on this list. George Mikan does not belong in the top 30. That is the first thing that jumps out to me. Honestly, pull it down. Can I see the top 10? Honestly, the top 10. And I mean, we could play around with order all we want, but the top 10?
I got a headache, man.
I mean,
Hakeem Olajuwon belongs in Hakeem, Shaq, and Kobe belongs in the top 10.
Right, OG. I think that's where I'm leaning. I feel like Dream belongs in that top 10. But my deal is I don't know who I take him out for.
Hey, Dom, give us the top 10 again real quick.
In order, it's MJ, LeBron, Kareem, Magic, Wilt, Bill, Larry, Timmy, Oscar, Kobe.
You got to switch up. No disrespect. You got to switch Oscar for either Shaq or Hakeem Olajuwon. I'm sorry.
I'm cool with that.
I agree with that. I love Oscar Robertson, but I agree with that too.
Yeah, I like the Big O. I'm cool with that. I would jump out the window. I would jump out the window, and it's gonna hurt. It's gonna hurt a lot of the old heads' hearts, and that's cool. But I would be okay with replacing Dream with Russell too. For me, I'm okay.
No, hold on, Flea. I will. Hold on. Bill. Wilt Chamberlain and Oscar can switch out for Hakeem and Shaq. Hakeem and Shaq belongs in the top 10. I'm sorry. I would keep Bill there. I'm switching out Wilt Chamberlain and I'm switching out Oscar Robertson. I'm sorry.
I'm not mad. I'm not completely mad at that. Chamberlain was so damn dominant though. Jesus Christ.
The thing about Wilt that I don't know when my list is gonna come out, but whenever it does, the one thing that's tough, like I agree that you can have Shaq and Hakeem over Wilt Chamberlain, but man, there's a lot of people out there that really think that Wilt is the greatest ever. Like the people that actually watched him play and like dudes that played against him think he's the greatest ever. So it's like very hard for me to say someone that's in the GOAT conversation isn't top 10. Do you know what I mean? Like Hakeem is great, but I've never heard anybody call him the GOAT. I've heard people call Wilt Chamberlain the GOAT. So that's the only thing that's tough for me.
I think Dream is like grossly underrated. Like it's almost disgusting how underrated Dream is in terms of big men all time and players all time.
I think the thing with Hakeem is the first half of his career, he took a while to get like his footwork together. Took a little second, and he did make the finals very soon. Shaq did also, but I don't like Kevin Durant over Moses Malone. That's crazy to me. I'm sorry, Kevin Durant over Hakeem Olajuwon or Moses Malone. That's crazy. He didn't dominate the game like Moses Malone and Hakeem Olajuwon. That's insane. Defensively, that's not close.
He hold on. Offensively, he dominated though. I'm not saying you're wrong, but you can't say Kevin Durant didn't dominate. You can't say that.
I'm not okay, but he didn't even offensively. The chairman of the boards, he averaged the most offensive rebounds ever by like 2 rebounds. Nah, Moses
There's
Malone
not a lot of guys
that have
4. There's not a lot of guys that have 4 scoring titles. You know what I'm saying? Kevin Durant, one of those guys. Like, ain't a lot of guys that have that.
That's cool. Yo, same group of characters that always remind me about who got championships. And this man went over to Philadelphia because they won. And he said 4-4-4, and he blazed your man Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Wiped the floor with him, by the way. Badly. Can't say like KD went to Golden State and added to a championship. Get out of here with KD, man.
No,
Enough
but
is
hold on,
enough,
but
man.
hold on.
Defensively,
But
this is
hold on.
not close.
But Fabe, no. See, but that's all. Like, we not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying when you saying Kevin Durant wasn't dominant, you cannot say he wasn't dominant. That's false.
I say he didn't dominate like Hakeem and Moses Malone because defensively, that's not close. Now you go on offense, whoever you like better between Hakeem and Kevin Durant, go ahead. You take Kevin Durant if you want to on the offensive end.
Hold on,
I'm going with Hakeem.
no. Hold on. It's not about
just go get me a bucket. Yo, listen.
Right. Hold on.
I
It's
got
not
Hakeem.
about. Hold on. Fabe, it's not about taking Durant or Hakeem. That's not the argument. You're not going to tell me offensively. Yeah, defensively it's not even close. I'm not arguing that. But you're not going to tell me offensively Kevin Durant is not as dominant. You're wrong about that.
I'm going to tell you that. I'm going to tell you that. You
Again,
can't run an offense.
beyond,
You cannot run an offense. You cannot run an offense through Kevin Durant the way you do Hakeem Olajuwon. And Hakeem couldn't even pass like that. Yeah. What is this? Do you realize who he won with? Are we crazy right now?
We're not talking about that. We're talking about give him the ball and go get a bucket. You telling me that like Hakeem's bag is better than Kevin Durant's bag?
Okay, Kevin Durant got a better dribble. Hakeem could have had a handle at 6'9", whatever he was. And Kevin Durant's probably taller than Hakeem Olajuwon, by the way.
Yeah, nah.
But the point, Hakeem Olajuwon is shooting outside shots. He's dominating everybody. His footwork isn't. Kevin Durant has his footwork.
Give me the guy that led the league in scoring multiple times. Give me that guy.
Give me the guy who could have and still won.
But hold on.
I mean, he didn't though.
But Fabian,
he didn't want to. He wanted to win.
This is what I'm disagreeing with. I'm not going to disagree with you. If you want to take Moses or if you want to take Hakeem over Durant, I have no problem with that. But you can't sit up here. I'm not going to let you say while I'm up here, Kevin Durant isn't offensively dominant.
I didn't say that.
You did. You said he's not as dominant as them.
He's not as dominant. 50% from the field. We saw that a couple months or a month ago when we looked up his stats. We saw that. But to say he's as Hakeem Olajuwon could play any era and still be dominant. This era.
He's
killing everybody.
Kevin Durant could
Fabian,
too.
KD's not doing that back then.
A guy that led the league in scoring 4 times. A guy that has shot 50, 40, 90 on multiple occasions. A guy that has done that. Give me that guy. He is more dominant on the offensive end and more efficient on the offensive end than Hakeem Olajuwon. And I love Dream, but we're not about to say he's better offensively. Hell no.
Okay, so what does he do better than Hakeem? He shoots and he dribbles better. He shoots that much better off from the 3.
1,000%. I just said he's 50, 40, 90. So yes, he absolutely does shoot the ball better.
Now, 18 feet and below, this is not close. This is straight domination. And he's ending it, and he's closing out. He's getting the and one. You can't guard him.
And a skilled big man is I will say, as we saw with Jokic, it can be harder to stop than a skilled perimeter player because Hakeem's catching the ball on the block. You know what I mean? Like he's already close to the basket. It's a tough argument, to be honest. I mean, I don't have the expertise of you guys with Hakeem. That's why I'm staying a little quieter. But I don't know. I mean, KD I would just take as a scorer, but I haven't seen how Hakeem handles double teams and stuff yet because KD don't handle double teams that great. And the guys on this list.
That's a great point. And I will say, like, I'm not arguing for Moses Malone offensively. There's no bag there. He's a straight like glitch where he just throws the ball at the rim and gets the offensive rebound. And that's kind of his move. It's not a real deal move. He's not in the conversation with KD and Hakeem and Kareem as far as an offensive player. But Hakeem Olajuwon, to me, is more dominant. He's getting more fouls. You have to 2 or 3 guys at him. It's a must.
Hold on. Kevin Durant is top 5 greatest offensive players probably of all time. Offensive.
100%.
Nah, I only think scoring. Offensive includes passing, and I'm taking 5 guys before I'm taking Kevin, personally. To run my offense?
I don't agree. I don't agree with that because I think Kevin is a great passer. Good. I think he's an elite passer, but he doesn't get credit for it. He rebounds the ball well. He doesn't get credit for that. He defends the rim when he needs to. He doesn't ever get credit for that. He just gets credit for just putting the ball in the basket. So, I mean, who are the 5 guys that you would take over him right now?
Right. Give me 5 guys that you telling me that can score the basketball easier in as efficient as Kevin Durant.
I didn't
Shaq.
say scoring. I said
Shaq,
offensively
Mike,
overall.
Kareem. Hold on,
No,
Shaq,
no,
Mike.
no. Hold on. When we're talking offense, I'm just talking strictly offense. I'm not talking passing.
Yeah.
I'm not talking
That's
none
part
of
of
that.
offense.
Okay, so go ahead. Give me 5.
Shaq, Mike, Kareem off
Hold
top.
on. Shaq scores easier than Kevin Durant and more
Easily.
efficient than Kevin Durant.
Hell yeah.
That's what?
He gets the
Are
ball
you
on-
crazy?
He can destroy double teams without even passing.
Yeah, but I think there's more. And we're talking about more versatile, being able to do a lot more things on the basketball court. Yeah, Shaq was the most dominant player of his era. We're not arguing that. We're not
arguably
arguing
of all
that.
time.
I mean, yeah, but
I'm taking LeBron James offensively over KD. Not scoring, but offensively, I'm taking LeBron.
Yeah.
No, I think we're just talking about scoring though. Scoring wise,
No, I always say KD's a top 5 scorer of all time in my opinion, but I didn't say. But offensively, Jokic is better than him.
Yeah, but I mean, those are two different things. Being an offensive player and just putting the ball in the basket, two different things.
Well, then it's a different conversation. You guys were saying
So
offensively.
if what kind of conversation are we having? Are we talking about the best scorers of all time, or are we talking about the best guys on the offensive end of all time? That's two different.
Okay,
yeah, and hold on, and as far as offense goes, I don't think Hakeem Olajuwon is that much better than KD passing the ball and stuff like that. I'm not gonna say that, but he's the guy you got to give the ball to, and all you did before this era was 4 shooters around him, and that's how he played offense, and he was killing. Like KD couldn't do that. He's not doing that. He has to go get an and one. He has to create space.
Offenses were different. How they approached getting a bucket was different. The ball had to touch the paint. In the times that we talking Shaq, Dream, Patrick Ewing, David Robinson, Moses Malone, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, like the ball had to touch the paint before.
Now name me another center that had just 4 shooters around him, and that was the offense. Never happened. That was right. They copied them. They copied that.
Hold on, Shaq with guys like Rick Fox and
Kobe.
Or like
Penny,
he had
D-Wade.
shooters around him.
Nah, he had superstars around him too. Let's not forget that. Hakeem didn't have that.
He had one superstar in Kobe Bryant. What was the other superstars in LA?
Penny, D-Wade. You kidding me?
No, in LA.
No, LA is just Kobe. But I'm saying that's not right. But that's not just the Hakeem offense. That's why I'm saying how dominant it is. Again, I'm not talking about. You asked me who gets an easier bucket. It's the easier bucket will always be a center like that.
Bro, you said Kevin Durant is not offensively as dominant as you said Moses Malone and Hakeem Olajuwon.
No, I did not say that. No, I said he's not as dominant as they are. When we're talking strictly offense, I'm not putting Moses in that conversation. Scoring wise, that's different. But if you're telling me that KD, you'd rather give the ball as a number 1 option to KD every game, every play over Hakeem Olajuwon, to me,
that's a fact.
That's crazy.
That's a fact.
Okay,
that's a
then
fact.
I totally disagree with that. I think Hakeem on both ends of the court, he got that over KD. There's no way. There's no way for me.
That all depends on how your team is structured, what you trying to do. That's not an easy 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I'm taking Dream and dumping the ball down to Dream every time. Then having the ability to give it to KD, who could face up and see everything. Like, not saying Dream didn't have the ability to face up, but you wasn't giving the ball to Dream, 3-point line extended, or you wasn't giving the ball to Dream to even initiate offense. KD could do that too. So, like, you know what? It's just the ability to have a more versatile guy.
But that's my point. In this era, for some reason, we think that's a more convenient way to start the offense. It's never been that way. The high percentage shot is going to be by the closest to the basket, and that a skill guy like
Kevin Durant's a winning player, so we could say what we want about it, but the guy's not a loser. You know, not a guy that wins 35 games a year. Any team that he's on is usually 45, 50 plus win team. It is what it is. Like, he's a winning player.
But hold on. Yeah. You can dump the ball at Kevin Durant on the box. He can post up, and he got an ill mid-range and turn around. Like,
you don't go to it enough in the playoffs.
That's a matchup, though. That depends on the matchup.
You know what? I'm gonna say this. I'm going off the bridge. This is no disrespect, but Kevin Durant, if we going with better basketball player, we going with that top, he deserves to be higher than Oscar Robertson.
Scoring wise?
Not for me.
basketball
Not for me.
player
Just
wise.
talent,
Nah,
I mean, we're just talking about
not for
talent.
me.
But
Oscar has a
there's
lot
a
of
lot of
talent.
stuff that goes into just like being a basketball player. And yeah, talent and eye test, we just looking at a player that counts. But then we talking about the NBA. A lot of stuff matters. Like you a guy that likes defense. You a guy that likes titles. You a guy that likes a resume. You know what I'm saying? Like you got to start. Everything is encompassed into one. That list right there is an attempt to put together a list of guys that are really talented, guys that have great resumes, guys that are in the middle of that, and just trying to put together a list that makes sense. So, I ain't completely mad at the list. You're trying to put together something that looks good, but that's hard to do when you got to account for niggas that's just straight pure hoopers. Like Kevin Durant is a pure hooper, and a lot of times he wants us to like look at it like that from that aspect, just pure hooping, and everything that comes with being an NBA player. You got to add some more shit into there. It ain't just we at the park, roll the ball out, let's hoop. For me, I look at it like that from some points, but there's a lot of other shit that goes into that. So I don't know. Kevin Durant's top 20 for me though.
But do y'all? I'm sorry,
Dom.
Dom.
Discussion.
Right. Okay, but do y'all have KD over Hakeem right now?
Fuck no.
No. Hold on.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
But
I'm not cool with that. I'm not cool with that. But I'm not mad at Kevin Durant being in that conversation.
Remember, we only basing it off this list that we have here, right? If we just basing it on this list, my opinion, Kevin Durant is over Oscar Robertson. He has 2 Finals MVPs. He has 2 championships. He has an MVP. He has scoring titles. He has all NBA first team. I'm just sorry. We going off just this list. I'm not saying Kevin Durant is top 10 all time. But this list right here, Kevin Durant, Shaq, and Hakeem Olajuwon belongs in the top 10. I'm sorry.
KD belongs in the top 10?
Who?
Kevin Durant belongs in the top 10?
Yes.
Or Kobe. What?
No, he doesn't.
No, I didn't say over Kobe. No, I did not say that.
Well, who are you taking out? Because you're only taking out Oscar and you said Bill Russ. You said Wilt. You're not taking Kevin Durant over Bill Russell now, are we?
Hey, Dom, I'm being honest. I know you love Bill Russell, bro, but I'm just being real, bro. Like, listen, man.
I ain't mad at the fucking take. Like, we can respect these greats.
Come on, man.
And still say
no.
be able
Kevin
to
Durant
say
has no case to be the greatest. Kevin Durant has no case to be the greatest.
Exactly.
Bill Russell has 11 rings of the best defender rebounder in history. And he's a dog, man. KD has played on stacked teams more than anyone in the history of the game.
Bill Russell is the best defending rebounder of all time?
Ever. Yes. I'm standing on that too. Defensively, nobody has changed teams like Bill. Nobody. Eye test, stats, whatever you want to do. What other player in NBA history could be the best player on multiple chip teams and not be offense first? There's only one that's ever played basketball. One person.
It's also a sign of the times, though. I agree with the first half of what you said, but the second half, I cannot rock with that, bro. I don't mind Bill Russell out of the top 10.
Nah.
Dennis Rodman.
I think we can respect. I think we can respect these greats, and that's what I love about Dom, that he respect these greats. But I love you, Dom. Get the fuck out of here. Like, hell no. We cannot overblow pause these greats and put them because there's
they have 0 rings without Bill Russell. 0. They will never win a championship in the 60s without him. He changed everything. He changed everything about that franchise. And when he left, they won 34 fucking games. The stats he has, I'm not big on advanced stats, but look up all-time defensive win shares, and it's not even close. He destroys everyone. He was getting 10 blocks. We're so lucky they didn't count blocks. We're so lucky they didn't count blocks because Hakeem Olajuwon's record is fucking Minnie Mouse compared to what Bill Russell and Wilt would have.
You see what I'm saying? But look,
being put up back then.
Look what you do when look what you do when it's your guy. If Hakeem Olajuwon played back then, the NBA would have ended it. They might have assassinated him. Are you kidding me?
No, they might have not.
If that's Bill Russell, are you kidding me? Hakeem Olajuwon would have tortured him.
What? I'm not. Hakeem Olajuwon's a great one-on-one player, but now you're changing the fucking argument.
No. Bill Russell, he's a great defender.
Bill Russell registered more blocks than Hakeem Olajuwon. That's a fact. It's unfortunate that there's no data of it, but it's a fact with how many shots they're putting up. There's newspaper articles that had him getting 10 blocks in a game multiple times. So it's just logical because they're shooting 100 times with no threes that he's getting. Bill Russell and Wilt would have the most blocks.
Hey,
ever.
Dom. Dennis Rodman is the greatest rebounder in all of
I'm
history.
not mad at that take.
Period.
I'm not mad at that take at all. If you want, I think Bill Russell and Wilt are the only ones that are in contention with Rodman, and I could give Rodman the edge because of his size. I will give you that. But Russell's top 3.
Right.
Hold
No,
on. Wait a minute. What about DeAndre Jordan or DeAndre?
Out of here.
Who?
Imagine if DeAndre Jordan had like the greatest basketball IQ, like top 3 ever, and then was way more coordinated. Then it's Bill Russell.
He meant to say Andre Drummond. He meant to say Andre. That's what he really meant to say.
They don't stack up to those 3 to me. I just think this, right? Bill Russell is blocking everything. That's the footage can show that. There's no height difference. So everyone says, oh, there were smaller players. That's bullshit. And he's keeping the ball in bounds and kickstarting the fast break. I mean, at the end of the day, no matter what anyone wants to say, this is a fact. Even if you want to chop off 3 of the rings in the 50s, Bill Russell has more best player on a championship team than anyone ever, than Jordan, than anyone. That's not arguable. That's a factual statement. And we value that. People value that. So to me, you can't put KD over him, to me. But I get it. He's aesthetically pleasing. If I put on a game, KD or Bill Russell, KD looks more eye-popping. There's no doubt. But I see what Bill Russell's done. So I'm never taking Bill out of the top 10. But I'm big on winning and defense. People are big on winning and defense. But then when Bill Russell's name comes up, he's too old. But I used to be one of those people, though. I'm not gonna lie.
But I think that's the thing, that back then you couldn't have an offensive player like KD or any one of these guys and really dominate like that. Like that era was catered to a guy like Bill Russell, bro.
Sure.
Like
I would love to look.
That's facts.
I would love to look at those rosters of all 8 teams that were in the NBA at that time. I would love to look at those rosters. I would love to see, aside from Chamberlain, and aside from a couple other outliers, I would love to look at those. And this is not shit talk. This is real. I would love to look at those rosters to see who they are competing against on a night in, night out basis, because those Celtics rosters were stacked. They always had great talent.
You throw it out to this is the era that I've done back and front. So you throw it out there, I got you. Name a year. Like, this is what I've done. Once I get to the 80s, we're gonna be on this. Trust me. I've done it. You can name a year, we'll tell you.
Yeah.
So
67.
So hold on.
Nate, go ahead.
Hold on, because I kind of want us to talk about some other players in that top.
Okay. That
top list. What was the last 5 names that you ran off? That was 25 to 30.
David Robinson, John Havlicek, Isaiah Thomas, George Mikan, Chris Paul, Dwayne Wade. George Mikan does not belong on there either.
That's fine, but can we all agree that Dwayne Wade should be higher than Chris Paul? What kind of disrespect is that?
Yes.
100%.
Chris Paul's only argument there is longevity, but in his peak, it's not even comparable. Like, he would
should
never
be higher on that list.
I think D Wade and Larry Bird have the same thing, where they have like those 10, 12 years. They were really great.
Can I take
I don't think Chris Paul was ever that good for that long.
Can I take it a step further? D Wade should be in front of Giannis, Kevin Garnett, and Dirk Nowitzki.
Why?
I'm not mad at that.
Because remember, when we talking top lists, as much as we don't like to talk about accolades and stats and all that type of stuff, he has a Finals MVP and he has 3 championship rings. And we all know before his injury, he was the dog of all dogs. He's top 5. He might be top 3. Some have him top 5. Some have him top 3 greatest shooting guards of all time, behind Mike and Kobe. As great as Dirk is, as great as KG is, which them guys is legendary, he belongs in front of them. I'm sorry.
We got accused of being crack smokers. I just said that comment. That was great.
Hey man, listen. If it's fire, give it. Hold on. If it's fire, give it here, baby. Let's go.
That was great.
Hey, look,
everything is a compliment.
Jesse agreed with me on the Bill Russell farm. I'm just saying this. This is the fact of the matter is, no one's had a bigger impact on a team defensively over a period of time than Bill. Like, nobody. He's like revolutionized block shots and everything. And his competition at the center position was great.
It wasn't as great as Hakeem Olajuwon's competition. Shaq, Hakeem, David Robinson, Mark Eaton, like the 80s and 90s are just different. So that's a part of it. That's really what Fleet's point is.
Bellamy, Wilt Chamberlain.
That's not David Robinson. That's not Shaq. That's not Rick Smith. That, like, these guys, they're not on the same level, Dom. Like, you can't argue.
They're not on the same level. Let's go player for player then. Fuck that.
Go play with player. Who's Shaq out there?
Wilt Chamberlain. Great. That's a great like for like.
Okay, now who's David Robinson?
I'm gonna go
with
Patrick
Ewing. Who's Mark Eaton?
Patrick Ewing. Well, there's obviously more in the 90s. There's more teams.
Who's Dikembe Mutombo then? If you got Mutombo,
I'm taking Nate Thurmond over Dikembe Mutombo. He's way more mobile.
Okay, but there's a bunch
pass.
of there's like
outlets with one hand.
Nah, you can't. I think he has night in, night out. Hakeem Olajuwon had a chance to play against another like above average 7-footer. That's not close to me.
That Bill Russell is, as Flea said, there was how many teams? 8 to 14 teams in his tenure. So if the centers, if 5 or 6 of them are all-star caliber, like Zelmo Beatty and these players, then he's seeing 5 out of almost half the schedule. He's seeing an all-star center, almost half the schedule. So they have to take into consideration this.
Okay. Hold on. Let me just say this real quick. I'm going to just give a guy some props because this is pertaining to what Dom is saying as far as Bill Russell, what he brings to the table, which is a legend. I would never disrespect him. He's definitely in my top 20. He's not in my top 10. But let me say this. Dennis Rodman is the greatest basketball player that changed the game without scoring. It's not Bill Russell. I'm going to say it again. Dennis Rodman is the greatest player that didn't score the ball that can change a team, a franchise in a basketball game. It's not Bill Russell. I'm sorry.
I think that's easy for us to say because of what we saw. Right.
Yeah, that's the tough part. With Russell's not enough footage.
Yeah, because I think people get it confused. And I tried to say this before we even dived into this Russell talk. We can be respectful to the greats without having to feel like we can't take them down from their mantle. You know what I'm saying? Like there's other players for what, you know what I'm saying, to what AllBall is saying. There's other players that we can put up there sometimes without having to feel like we got to bow down to a Bill Russell and a Wilt and a Cousy and a Sam Jones and you know what I'm saying? They're great. They've established their legacies. We're not taking nothing from them. But there are other guys that were just as good, if not better than them. To have a conversation about if Dennis Rodman is as good as Bill Russell is fair and valid. I don't see how that's off base.
Wait, hold on. Wait.
Dennis Rodman's not even close to Bill Russell.
Yeah, why Dennis Rodman? He's not as great as he was defensively. He's not impacting the game like Hakeem, Bill Russell.
Huh?
Hold on. Dennis Rodman. Hold on, wait. Dennis Rodman in the same conversation.
Dream is impacting the game on both ends of the floor. So no, I agree.
Forget offense. I'm talking about defense. Dennis Rodman, as great as he is, the greatest perimeter player ever. Let's give him that. As great as he is, he's on the same level as Patrick Ewing, David Robinson, Hakeem Olajuwon, Mutombo at impacting a defense on that side of the court. It's not. Yeah. It's just not true.
How?
Because he's the anchor for the defense. That's not how that works. Listen, that's the part where I get lost. Like I like Dennis Rodman, but now we're doing too much.
Listen,
Dikembe was like a 9-time All Defensive Player candidate every year in year out till he was like 50. If he was that, if he was even that age.
Wow.
Y'all underrate defensive rebounding. Defensive rebounding.
Again, this doesn't hurt Bill's case. This doesn't hurt Bill's case.
I'm just talking about Rodman. I understand what you're saying. I'm just saying defensive rebounding. You got to secure a possession to keep going forward.
We can't. Hold on. I'm sorry, Fleet. We can't even to even put Dennis Rodman in this conversation when the team did not revolve around his defense to win championships. The team revolved around Bill Russell's defense to win championships. He is not in this conversation.
Boston's offense is
again, comments. I need y'all to understand something. This is not any disrespect to Bill Russell. It is not disrespectful to be able to debate the legends and the greats. We should be able to have these conversations without it being disrespectful because we're having a conversation. Like, they are not off limits to be spoken about. I just want to let everybody know that they ain't off limits. Everybody is on limits. We're talking about a list right now. Everybody is on limits. So if Bill Russell's on the table, he's on the table. And we could talk about who might be better than him. It just is what it is.
I mean,
I give y'all 2 more players, my opinion, that shouldn't be in that top 30. Chris Paul, and as much as I love John Stockton, they should not be in that top 30. And totally D Wade should be much higher. I'm sorry.
Also, on another note,
and George Michael,
a little old for me, even for me, but I'm gonna say this, man.
He shouldn't be on that list.
I love Oscar Robertson, but Jerry West being 10 places below Oscar Robertson when he's arguably better than him is
Exactly.
crazy. Jerry West being at 19 is ridiculous. He should be right around Oscar's level to me. If Oscar's that high, I love Oscar Robertson. What makes him so much better than Jerry West? People don't understand how good Jerry West was. Like, they really don't understand how good he was.
So
But-
Oscar Robertson got how many years with Kareem?
4.
How many years did Jerry West have with Wilt? Like 6?
5.
5?
Yeah.
Damn, that's pretty close. Nah, that's closer than I thought. Yeah. Nah.
Jerry West never missed the playoffs once in his life. I want to remind people of that too. And he's a better defender. But
better defender? A better
yes.
defender also? Yeah,
Jerry
then that's
West-
kind of crazy.
Jerry West's defense is crazy. Dude, they're lucky they didn't count steals because he may be number 1. I've seen newspaper articles where he had 10 steals in a game.
I think Jerry West, Rick Barry, and Larry Bird are always gonna get that knock because they're white. I'm gonna say that off rip. I gotta say that off rip. They're always gonna say that.
Hold on.
The knock that they always overlook Jerry West, the logo, or whatever it is. They always do that because it's just like they don't really understand. Like Jerry West, and we have to watch the footage and go, oh, because if it wasn't for that footage, a lot of people would be sleeping on Jerry West still. They were like, I grew up.
All three of them are great. All three of them are like legends.
You say that, and because I trust what you've done. I trust your word, but there's people out here who talk basketball every day with us, and they would say the opposite, and they overlook them primarily because they're white. Period. But Jerry West was that dude, and even the Oscar Robertson conversation.
I just off of our Larry Bird conversations, man. I just was sitting down, Dom. I don't know. I think I sent it to you. I was sitting down looking at a reel off of Larry Bird, and it was some of the coldest shit ever. Like that dude. Oh, that dude is cold.
And my thing is Jerry West is very similar because I always point to this Dom's boy JJ Redick when he came out made those comments. Just the way Jerry West attacked him, he didn't really attack him. He just covered for his guys for his era. Like you attacking us, this is my mindset. So I know he's competitive. And these are the guys we're talking about. Like with Oscar Robertson, I don't know, man. Like that's again, we would rely on people like Dom. Like we have to concede that point. So when we say get Oscar Robertson out of here for KD AllBall, that's very inaccurate. Like I don't know.
That's a debate to me. I said Bill Russell. I would not hear.
No, not you.
Because I genuinely think Bill Russell has a great case to be the best.
But I never see. I never said take Bill Russell out for KD. I'm saying.
You did. You literally
no, don't do that. No, I did not.
Yes,
I was saying no. I gave the names I would take out, and I gave the names I would put in. I didn't say
yes.
I would take this person out for this person. I said Oscar Robertson. I said Bill Russell, and I forgot who else I said.
And
I
Wilt
said
for KD,
right,
Kobe, and Shaq.
Right.
I said Hakeem and Shaq.
Right. Exactly. Shaq.
So you did take him out for KD.
So let me ask you a question. Shaq and Hakeem is arguably top 5 greatest centers of all time.
Not arguably, they are top 5 centers of all time. Undebatably.
All right, now Bill Russell and Wilt Chamberlain is in that talk?
For sure.
All right, hold on.
So.
No, wait, hold on. You have Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, you have Shaq, you have Hakeem Olajuwon. So we going Bill Russell and we going Wilt Chamberlain. Those are the greatest 5 centers of all time.
That's the 5. It's very sacred.
I don't think that's a bad list.
No. Right now my thing is this. You can't have how do you have Hakeem and Shaq not in there, but you have Kareem, Russell, and Wilt in the top 10?
I think
they're showing their age.
I think those guys should all be top 12.
We'll talk about it now, but we saw the age of the. Shout out to everyone who watched the Larry Bird video on AllBall TV. Like people are showing their age, they're voting for this ESPN list. Like clearly, these is nobody. They're not our age, bro. Because they seen them play, they reported them, and they go with the myths and everything like that. They just running with that, and they're holding them down. I'm not mad at it. It forces us to go back and see if we know what we're talking about. I ain't mad if you got an opposing, like you said earlier, Flea. I ain't mad at you got something opposing to say. We need that. So all this, like you said in the comments, all this like make a great debate and all that. Yeah, okay, that's what we're trying to do, and we're being honest about it. I'm trying to fake nothing.
As far as the Flea comment about greats not being able to be surpassed, I'm not gonna lie, man. I was the guy that discredited Bill Russell my whole life. So like I have a lot of making up to do for my own ignorance. Do you know what I'm saying? Like I grew up in Lakerville. We discredit Boston Celtics championships. There is a balance, and the balance is that 3 years. Okay, so I can't think that Bill Russell has a case to be the GOAT.
Because you not disrespected, but because you overlooked Bill Russell's career during your process. doesn't mean, in my opinion, doesn't mean that there has to be a, overabundance of trying to show him love because you got to make up. Like, there could be a balance. We could have a conversation
this
about.
is my honest opinion, though. My honest opinion
No,
is
no,
I've
no,
always
I'm
been
not.
a guy.
It's not you.
Right.
It's not you. I'm just saying.
Okay.
For the sake of the conversation, Bill Russell is not off limits to basketball conversations. Is what I'm saying, and
Exactly.
everybody got their own take, but he's not off
He's
limits.
not.
I'm gonna say that now.
He's not. Well, he gets slandered daily by kids. So I mean,
let's be real.
yes, he
Ain't no
does.
kids up here, Dom.
Like
I understand,
Kobe
and he still gets
Kobe Bryant is all the way down to 10. Like, come on,
Yeah.
man. That's
I'm not mad at that. I ain't mad at that. That's not
No,
laughable.
he's not. I know that's why I didn't even bring that up yet, but I was gonna. But my thing with Bill is, it's for me particularly. I understand Flea saying something more broad, but listen, he was the player of the whole journey that I just was shocked at how much I discredited him. I'm not doing it to make up for anything. I really think he's that great because we all have our own experiences that shape up how we view the game. And my view of the game as I've gone older has been all about, you got to do what it takes to win. Fuck your stats. The winning your performance will show up. If your team wins and you play that many minutes, you will have been a contributing factor. And the way Bill Russell talks, I can see exactly why he won so much, because he says all the right things. He says all the things that I've learned about what it takes to win. And I can see it in what he does. And I can see it in the impact that he had. So I genuinely, and I'm big on winning. So like to me, if I don't think anyone really has that great of a case over MJ the way I see it, but Bill Russell, being the fact that he won more than him, is the one where I'm like, maybe, but nobody else to me with MJ. I don't think anyone else over. I don't think I'm going to get to that conclusion personally. Ever.
Kobe should be number 2 on that list.
I think Bill's a monster. So
that's low. A lot of that is loaded. There's a lot that goes into that.
I ain't putting no Kobe over Shaq. It's not happening. I ain't putting Kobe over.
But they put Oscar.
I am too.
But we put Oscar Robertson. Hold on. But we put Oscar Robertson over Kobe. Right.
I mean, I think that's crazy because Kobe played how many years? I think that's the part that's crazy, because it's like, we've seen Kobe and again, he was a real 17 years old in the league. So that's the part of me that's like kind of crazy. Like, did Oscar play since he was 17 in the league and grow like that? To me, that's a real conversation.
He didn't.
That's a real. But to have him like over Jerry West, the logo, and just that, I'm not putting him over Shaq and stuff like that. And going back to your point, Dom, again, I understand the whole thing with Bill Russell. I get it, but he played in the era that was tailored for him. If he played in this era, he might not be top. Steph Curry did too, and I don't take points off of him. Okay, but he in this era, if he played today, he might not be.
That's what I'm telling you. I don't give a fuck. 60 years ago, he learned how to play basketball, and he fucking dominated. He's transcendent.
Okay, so then, but you're taking away points from KD for him being him. You can't do that. Then I don't give a fuck.
KD. I don't think KD in his era stacks up to the resume of those 12 guys. Those guys that can lead a team to the chip, clear cut. We've talked about Kevin Durant on here before. I don't believe he's in. I think he's in that second tier. No, he did not.
He led a team twice to a championship.
No, he didn't. He just was the best player in the series, in the finals. I still believe that Steph Curry was the nucleus of the team. That he makes everything go. Because you take KD out and they're still successful. And their whole offense is built around Steph Curry's movement. Their whole offense is. And Ty Lue chose to take him away and then got cooked because KD was going one-on-one. And I'm not going to knock, like, KD's a beast, but I'm not taking him over Hakeem or Kobe Bryant or Shaq or Bill or Wilt or any of those guys. I would put him in the Oscar Jerry tier. And Dirk. That's okay.
He led
the reason.
Good.
No, I'm just saying the reason that like we get into this KD conversation and it gets so passionate, right, is because it's hard to differentiate KD and how immensely talented this dude is. And then we start talking about the winning and how he did it, right? There's context to how he did his winning. Like when we stack him up against how talented he is, I think he's top 5, top 10 most talented players of all time. But then when you start adding in all the other stuff that it matters about who you are as an NBA professional basketball player, he starts getting knocked down the list because, like Dom said, there's other careers that are just better. They're just better. There's other resumes that are just better. So now you got to really have that conversation. If it's talent, just talent alone, I don't think that any of us could even say with a straight face that Kevin Durant is not a top 5 talented player of all time.
I agree with you. I agree with you on that.
On that list, y'all telling me Wilt and Oscar Robertson's careers are better than Kevin Durant's?
Yes, Wilt Chamberlain.
I would say yes.
I don't think.
I don't know
think
about. I don't know. I don't
understand.
Oscar
wait, hold
Robertson
on.
maybe have a conversation, but I don't think you can't even stack. I don't think you can stack KD's career up next to Wilt's.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Hold on. Let's get this out of the way. Nobody has a career like Bill Russell. Let's get that out of the way.
Bill Russell or Wilt Chamberlain?
No, Bill Russell. That's not
Okay.
close.
I agree. When it comes to
like,
winning,
Yeah,
the leader.
that's agreed. That's
when-
agreed. But
Bro, who would you rather be? Tom Brady or anybody you talk to, Jordan, all of them, they're gonna say, nah, I want to win. I want to win 12 times. That's what
11,
I want
yes.
at the end of the day.
Yeah.
But if we're 11 times. But if we're talking about now, we have to add in the skill.
You also
That's
got to
where
remember
the
this man
argument
was
comes
a
in.
player coach with
Hold
no
on, hold on.
assistants.
Exactly.
That's
Hold on.
crazy to me.
Hold on. Kevin Durant's career, when it's over, can potentially average for his career over 25 for a game. His efficiency is going to be ridiculous. He has 2 championships, 2 finals MVPs, a multiple, probably all first NBA, multiple scoring titles, and he has an MVP. What are y'all talking about? His career, when it's all said and done, ain't gonna be as good as Oscar Robertson or Wilt Chamberlain.
I don't think you're understanding like how crazy Wilt Chamberlain's career really is. Like what this guy actually did in the league. Like forget the stats and all that. But actually, it's hard for me to say forget the stats because his stats are so ridiculous.
not with him. You can't say that because it just jumps off the page.
But then, so the thing that people don't really talk about is like I'll give you some examples. In 1963, the Philadelphia Warriors moved to San Francisco and they didn't make the playoffs the first year, which is really kind of embarrassing to have Wilt Chamberlain on the team and not make the playoffs. Next year, they added a new coach. Nate Thurman came in as a rookie and they went to the finals. And Wilt, his points per game dropped a lot. He got everybody more involved. He bought in. He wasn't like a ball hog anymore. And they made it to the finals. They had no business beating Boston, and they didn't. But that was huge. And then a couple of years later with Philly, when Hannum came back, he had one of the greatest seasons anyone's ever had. They beat the Celtics 8 championship streak. And in the conference finals, I would love if you pull those numbers up, Fabian. In the Eastern Conference Finals, this man averaged like it's actually crazy
his
what he
best
averaged.
ever.
Like,
his best season ever, his best career ever, Wilt Chamberlain with Al Hannum. Yeah.
Yeah, and the thing is, I mean, if I understand it's hard to, compare with the guys that we did see and the guys that we do have full series of. But imagine watching a series in live time when a guy averages that. Like we'd be going crazy. Like we'd be going insane. And he won. So I can't knock that. And then my final point on Wilt is this man had a terrible knee injury in like 4 games into the season in 1970. And they were wondering if he was ever going to play again. And he came back the same season as a big man with the 60 surgeries. Like he came back the same season and got to the finals. That was the Willis Reed, when you guys won the ring. But like he had no business being there. So like these kind of things are, to me, with Wilt is like so underrated because I got to give you something that's not the 50 points per game and the 100 points because everyone talks about that. I got to give you something different. 72. When the Lakers won that championship, Wilt only averaged like 12 points. That's sacrifice. He could average more, but that was real sacrifice from him to win, So Wilt,
two got to cut it out with these faces, man. Like this
dude,
is
Oscar,
what does he disagree with?
But he ain't touching.
Yeah, but hold on, but we have to. All right, so before all ball goes, right? The thing for me with Bill Russell is that it's all intangibles when it comes to career. Like it's not about the skills. It can't be.
Right.
If we're talking about skills, right? It can't be.
He has defensive skills though, like his timing, his block shots.
That's where he can compete with anyone in history. But other than that, there's no competition. Him and Hakeem, bro, it's not close.
100%.
But as far as a career,
that's how I feel.
Nobody in the history of the NBA would do what he did. It's not close. His story is different than everybody's, and that's the career he has a Muhammad Ali-esque story with what he did in Boston.
I just saw. So we talk about careers. Kobe not even close to Jordan defensively. I think that's disrespectful.
No, he said to Jordan. Period, not defensively.
So even with that, like Kobe's career versus Jordan's career, who are you gonna say is better? I say Jordan because of the way it turned out. Like the whole 6-0 in the finals, he dominated the whole decade. He was the best player of damn near his whole life. Kobe was never really considered the best player. So it's like, who would you rather be? That's who. That's like.
Nah.
You said B was never considered the best player?
It wasn't like, okay, when was he considered the best player throughout his lifetime? Like Mike. That was year in, year out, Michael Jordan. There was no discussion. It was a salute. It was
Jordan,
and high tops.
Jordan for a stretch was considered the best player longer, but don't
stretch. He said like it was yoga. No. This is from second year in the league. He was busting the Celtics ass, and Larry Bird said, "Yeah, that's God and high tops." I ain't never heard nothing like that.
Everybody agree with me on the Steph KD thing in the comments, by the way. Just saying, I'm pulling them up.
We don't care, Dime.
Hold on, real quick. Everybody in the comments. I'm 45 years old. I've seen a lot of basketball. I will never disrespect none of these guys. We're talking about the list that's constructed now. Is Wilt, Bill Russell, and these guys in my top probably 15, 20? Yes. But if we talk about this list right now, as great as Wilt Chamberlain was, averaging 30, 30, and 30, I'd give him all that. How many finals MVPs he got? How many regular season MVPs? I'm just asking.
I'll answer. First of all, he won 3 in a row. 3 in a row, which only 3 players have ever done.
Right.
And finals MVP, he actually has one, but he really should have 2, but the award wasn't invented yet. But he obviously is the most valuable player from the 67 Sixers. And how many MVPs does bro have? 3? He has 3 MVPs?
Okay.
I mean, come on. Wilt Chamberlain.
No.
All-time leader in rebounds, by the way. All-time leader in rebounds.
I'm only asking because KD is not far from that. 2, and he has an MVP as well. So my thing is this. I have no problem.
Wilt Chamberlain?
With Wilt Chamberlain being wherever y'all want him to be at. But you're not going to sit here and tell me he's a better basketball player than Kevin Durant. I disagree.
I'm gonna sit here and tell you that he is a 7'2", humongous guy with like a 40-inch vert that's blocking every shot at the rim. I've seen these because remember back in the day, I will concede that yes, what Fabian's saying about the game being tailored to bigs absolutely affects the argument because yeah, if you put Wilt in this era, I still think he'd be a monster. But is he better than KD? Maybe he's not. But in his time, like it's not even close to me. Like Wilt Chamberlain was. And even if you take out the beginning years where like the league didn't have as many black stars and Wilt was just this, anomaly of a talent, even when you got those great players in and Wilt was struggling to win rings, he still was more impactful to games than KD. Like you should see the way these guys look at him when he's at the rim. Like they're so scared to shoot. It's crazy. He's gigantic.
Hold on. But that's where you lose me, bro. Because there ain't no perimeter players. That's where you lose me. Hold on. The perimeter players from back then to today, that's not close.
Of course,
so if they're scared of the Wilt Chamberlain, of course they are.
Okay, but I can literally name 100. We were just talking about, though, you and me, we're just talking about how many good point guards were in the 70s and the 71. And I kept going. I named you like 20 that were really good.
We talking about Wilt Chamberlain. Oh, Dime, stop it.
What?
In the NBA in the 1970s, compared to the 90s, 2000s, and now, the perimeter play is just way different. That's what increased.
They're not as good, but they still have to get in the paint and try to create shots.
This can't.
And it's not just guards.
The ball had to
touch the paint. I just said that though. The ball had to, in the era that we're talking about, the ball had to touch the paint. Like there wasn't.
You had a whole answer. Dime, you had a whole league full of other players that were great with the ABA. Like that's not even. Now you combine them and you have a new league. Like that's not close to me. So to say that they were scared to death to go to the paint, like of course they were. They weren't as good.
Let me tell you how bad.
Part of it's because you can't throw your body into the bigs like you can today. That helps the bigs out.
Yeah, true.
Let me tell you how bad this list is. You have Kobe Bryant 10, and you have John Stockton in front of Dwayne Wade. That list is horrific.
Yeah, hold on a second. Hold on, wait. No, stop right there. There's no way if anybody would have ever told me that John Stockton was better than D Wade, that might deserve some violence. You can't do that. You can't tell me John Stockton is the same stratosphere.
I don't agree with that.
That's crazy. So this list is that's garbage.
Come on. No. So, like I said, everybody make great points. Y'all know my motto. Nobody's wrong. It's all our opinions. I respect everybody's opinions. Everybody makes great points. But remember, it's the top list that we have here. So remember, I'm not saying for me, Kevin Durant is top 10 all time. But on this list right here, I'm going to be honest, man. If people put their personal to the side, remember, I'm a fan. I'm a New York Knicks until I die. So I'm not a fan of none of these guys. I'm a Knicks guy. But we got to be for real. D Wade, Kevin Durant belongs higher than John Stockton, maybe Dirk Nowitzki, and Kevin Garnett. I'm sorry.
And George Mikan.
Yeah,
I think
I'm
KD
sorry.
is closer. I think KD is closer to Dwayne Wade than he is Wilt Chamberlain.
That's fair.
Okay, I respect that. I respect
Dude,
that.
Wilt is
That's
amazing.
I don't.
I'm
No,
not gonna lie,
I'm not
man.
rocking with that.
Okay,
I'm not rocking with
why?
that. That's why I'm leaning with all ball. I get the whole he's not a winner thing, but D Wade, and you know I love D Wade. But yo, Kevin Durant went to like 5 conference finals. He did a lot, man.
He had a
I
very
was
good
just
team when he
arguing
did it.
against him. Okay, but I don't. Again, you know how Dom. You know I'm gonna be biased. He's taller. It's easier for him to get a bucket than D Wade any day.
Okay,
Any day.
but Wade still got in the paint way easier than him, and in an era where it was even less spacing.
I get it, but he was his injuries came later. Kevin Durant, like we're overlooking a lot. Like I understand what I was arguing earlier.
In 07, he fucked his shoulder up. Remember that? He was already getting hurt, and he still was dropping
Yeah.
30. And a couple years after,
Yeah.
Dwayne Wade. Remember,
listen,
he
okay.
dislocated his shoulder against the Rockets.
Right, but that's what I'm
Listen.
saying. Kevin Durant's injuries came later on, so
Oh,
I think
okay.
that's
They
why
meant
to
Wade.
say he's closer to D Wade than Wilt. That now because remember
There's-
KD to me is closer to dominant than D Wade.
I just think
There's
that it's
a ton
funny
of-
how you yeah, go ahead, Flea.
No, I'm just saying there's a ton of intangibles that Kevin Durant has about his game that I don't think get highlighted much. I think he's just more than a scorer now, like where he's at 34 years old. But what we were so blown away by literally is because of how talented he was. Being a 7'2" guy that was long, that could put the ball on the floor, he could handle the ball like a guard, he could shoot like a guard, but he could also put you on the block like a big. Like his whole offensive package and what he brought to the game was so crazy to the average eye, especially when he came into the league. So it's like we watched that and think that like that's supposed to supersede everything else that all these other players that we're comparing him to. They bring a lot of other stuff that just KD don't got, or he had to, but now let's look at the roads. How did he get there? That matters too, right? So,
but Flea,
And he was.
What about this,
I think he was
AllBall?
that
What about
good.
this?
I think he was that good for that much longer though. Like KD's been around. Oh, what is he? 37. It's been a long time
like
that KD's been.
35.
KD's longevity is pretty incredible. I'm not.
But he's
take that
still.
away.
I think his greatness for me has been around longer than D Wade. D Wade's greatness has been
that's
around.
a fact. That's not arguable.
So that has to factor.
I understand. My statement was about Wilt Chamberlain, who, by the way, you love these big men, that the impact at the rim and all this. But when it comes to Wilt Chamberlain, now it's all the era, this and that. Bro, Wilt Chamberlain is doing what you need. You said Dikembe Mutombo and this and that. Wilt Chamberlain's Dikembe Mutombo with way more bounce, and he's sitting at the rim. You feel me? These guys he's affecting every single thing that happens on the court, basically, when he's in his era, in the 60s game.
But also, Flea, piggybacking on the Kevin Durant thing, when he's locked in on defense, he could potentially be defender player. He could win he could win one of those if he chose to. Like he can block, he can protect the rim, he can do all that. I'm saying,
Yeah.
Hold on. Let me help you with that, AllBall. Let me help you with that. And D Wade didn't have that chance to be all defensive player of the year. Like Kevin Durant had a legit chance to do that because he is that.
Is KD
talented.
a better defender than Wade though?
I mean, we could argue that Dwayne Wade was probably the best defensive guard of all time. Like,
yeah,
just
I would say
from the guard position.
I think he was the best shot blocking guard. I don't know if he's the best defensive guard.
I mean,
do you think he's a better defender than Tony Allen or Drew Holiday?
No, yeah, right. That's not close.
But shot blocking, though,
like
he's
on
up
ball,
one or two.
ball defender, probably not. No, probably not. On ball defender, probably not. I don't think he ever could move his feet, but just defended, just playing defense. And where he was at as a guard, just being an elite guard, like he's one of the better defenders that was an elite guard, over time.
Sure.
Like we look at that.
But that wasn't. But that's not AllBall's point. AllBall's point is just strictly talent and potential. That KD's talent potential on defense is higher than D Wade, and even offensively, if we're keeping it real.
Hey,
Dom, if somebody's talking, let them like.
Yeah, you do the comments. You do the comments.
Hold on, y'all.
Too many of them.
Hold on, real quick before we read the comments.
And they're good.
Where was Tim Duncan on that list?
I'll show you.
Pretty low.
He is number.
No,
8.
he's top 10.
No. He's over.
Hakeem.
He's number 8. He's over Hakeem. He's over Kobe.
No. Wait, Dom. He's number 8. Give me what's the 7 in front of him? You said Jordan, Kareem, LeBron,
Magic, Bird,
Russell.
Wilt, and Bill. That's fair for Tim Duncan. 8
No,
plays
it's not.
for
Yeah, I don't think.
How is it not?
No, it's
Eighth
not.
I don't think
place?
we move him.
Uh,
Whether you want to put Wilt and Bill further down, like you're still bringing in Hakeem and them, and they have a case to be better than
You
Duncan.
think Duncan should be higher, OG?
you
He
said
could be, but like
wait,
eight is fine.
wait, hold on. Mike, LeBron, Kareem, and who was 4? Magic,
Magic.
and then 5 was who?
Wilt.
Duncan got to get in that 5th spot. Duncan deserved to be in that 5th spot.
I mean, I'm not gonna go back and
So
forth.
if you were
between
sitting
Duncan and
down,
Wilt. They're both amazing.
hold on. The Dominicans in Harlem is cutting your hair. You in the barbershop. You having a conversation. You about to tell me you got Tim Duncan top 5? You?
Hold
He's
on.
been saying that.
Yeah, hey, Fleet, my top
Really?
5 is
Okay, I didn't know that. That's new. That's new for me. I didn't know that. I didn't know that.
But
Okay.
hold on. I've been saying this forever. And for some reason, just my top 5, it wasn't meant to be like that, but it's actually by position, but it wasn't meant like that. I have Magic at the 1. I have Mike at the 2. I have Bird at the 3. I have Duncan at the 4. I have Shaq at the 5. That's my top 5 all time.
All time. Okay, I didn't know. I didn't know you had Duncan top 5. Okay.
And
All
guys, y'all talk about that I think get slighted and don't get spoken about enough is Tim Duncan. When y'all read off how much with the defensive stuff, remember, we forget the MVP, the Finals MVP, the rings, what he did.
Duncan got back-to-back MVPs, I think, right, Dom?
Yeah, 2002 and 2003. Yes, he does.
He does? Oh, wow.
Hey,
Yeah.
So
how many finals
but
MVPs he got?
3?
A couple.
Yeah, 99, 2003, 2005. Yeah, 3.
Hey,
You
Fleet,
got a
look at
great
me.
resume, bro.
That man belong in that 5th spot over Wilt.
So-
I'm sorry.
Here's my question.
I'm not
But
mad
here's
at the
my
argument.
here's
I'm
my
not
question
mad
for
at the
someone like
argument.
because Dom can go hold down the old school and all that, right? And here's my question for AllBall: is there anybody before that played before 1984 that could make your list? Because it seems like
No.
they're all been abolished through evolution or whatever these young kids are saying.
No, it's when he started watching ball.
No, well, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar can make my list. What I'm saying is, I have no problem with whoever has Bill Russell or Wilt on their list. I'm saying as time moved on and things evolved and elevated, I'm saying for me, there's guys that's better basketball players. They may not be better. Now, if we go in, who's the greatest winners of all time? Bill Russell is there. We talk about who's the greatest basketball players we've ever seen, whether we watched it live, on video, whatever. When we having that conversation, I'm sorry, those guys are not in my top 10. Are they in my top 15, 20? Yes. But if we talking greatest basketball players of all time, I'm sorry. Those guys are not on my list as far as top 10.
And I think I always talk to Dom about this, and he just thinks I have a bias towards big men, but it's also the fact that does your talent and your skill, do they translate? I think that's very important. That's why I don't mind Bill Russell getting knocked out of somebody's top 10. I don't mind if Steph Curry gets knocked out of your top 10. He's not a two-way player. Neither is Bill Russell. Like, that matters. So Tim Duncan being up there, I ain't mad at that. Wilt Chamberlain being up there, I ain't mad at that. I'm saying that's what I think. That's how I think. Like, everything you said was correct, Don, because again, you have a career, but you also got skill set. What are your skill sets? Do they translate? Can you play ball in any era? How much can you play? Like, Magic to me can play in any era.
Yeah, you got to be able to put this list together and add, like I said a little while ago, be able to add everything and make it concise. This is what we do. So we're going to debate the list, and everybody else going to debate the list regardless. But if you're going to be responsible and try to put together a solid list, you gotta account for talent. You got to account for winning. You got to account for career. You got to account for impact on the game. You're like, there's so much shit that you got to account for when you, like, George Mikan is added into that list because everybody on that list has done the Mikan drill. All 4 of us have done it at some point in our lives. We played basketball. You did the Mikan drill, right? So, like, he's on that list for impact. Probably not for how great he was.
Well, he was probably the best player of the decade, right?
Right. Probably the best player of his time. But you know what I'm saying, Dom? Like, right now, he makes that list because of the impact that he had on the game when he was playing. So there's so much shit
you always speak to, Flea.
Huh?
No, that's the respect you always speak to. That's like people act like you should be shot over questioning that. No, we should be able to challenge that because how else are we going to be determined what's great?
That's all it is. It's not a disrespect to George Mikan, but like AllBall said, we know that Hakeem Olajuwon is a better player than George Mikan. Like, we know that, and that's not no disrespect to Mikan, but you got to pay homage to the guys that came before you. But we can have a good basketball conversation about who was better than George Mikan and why he doesn't deserve to be on a top 30 list of all time. Like, come on.
But I just want, but
yeah.
Dom, I want to say this for you. I do agree with you. I think Bill Russell is a trend. How y'all say when somebody the talent thing y'all say?
Transcendent talent.
I think he's a transcendent talent. I honestly think that in today's game he would dominate. Yeah, he might not give you 30, but I think he
Definitely
can
not.
give you 14 and 14 and maybe 4 blocks. Like, no.
Yeah,
So
I agree.
What I'm saying is I agree with that, but I'm not going to sit here and act like I didn't see up until where I'm at today better basketball players than Bill Russell. As dominant as Wilt Chamberlain is, I don't think he's a better basketball player than Hakeem, Shaq, or Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
That's fine though. Those three guys are insane. Those three, but I see all those players you named. I think they're better than Kevin Durant by like no brainer for me. That's why I didn't push back. I only because KD, like all these guys you named, man, like as opposed to KD, they ask him what a leader is, and he'll be like, I don't know, like you tell me what it is. Like, no, ask Kobe Bryant, LeBron James, Larry Bird, or Bill Russell, say about what a leader means, and they're gonna define it for you right there. You feel
Well,
me?
I think a lot of guys, but that's not fair.
Like
Should that be an indictment on who you are as a basketball player?
Right.
Just
That
a
doesn't say you're
question.
not a great basketball player.
Yes, because if I want you leading my franchise, I personally like guys that are going to galvanize the troops. Kevin Durant seems like he goes out there, he does his thing. He's a lead by example guy. Like I think Kareem is one of those. But Bill Russell, what I love about him is he was vocal enough to be a coach. He like, you know what I'm saying? Like the fact that he was able to be a coach and he won as a player coach, like that also adds to his resume for me. Like, you know what I'm saying? He's picking the lineup, and the players still respect him. Like
that's not easy.
I don't know.
To do.
That's not easy. He's an advanced basketball mind. I would recommend his book. Yeah. So like again, I'm not necessarily. Here's my counter to that. Like if KD's still like if he won a ring with OKC or if he won a ring with Brooklyn, even if he's not a vocal leader or whatever, I'm not gonna knock points off of him. The only reason I do knock points of him is because I still have been let down to a degree, even though it sounds crazy because his career has been so amazing. But like, I think it's fair to say that like KD, we still want to see him be a champion without the Warriors. To me, for an that'll take him to another tier for me. I don't know how you guys feel about that.
I agree. I know.
I'm looking forward to him.
I know how I would look at him, if he won another one. Like a lot of the people that don't really like Steph Curry, I know that they look at him just a little different now after winning in 22. I know they do.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I know they do.
And Steph has 2 of those. He had the one before and he has the one after. So
I'm looking forward to this Phoenix season. I think they're the dark horse out west. I love this team for them. So I can't wait for the season for him. But the fact that he's not going to win as the lead dog again, if they do win, come on now, like that speaks to why he's not.
All those guys did.
But hold on. Why isn't he the lead dog if they win?
Because he wasn't a clear-cut lead dog ever when they won. He wasn't a lead dog when they went to any finals.
I'm asking you. We talk about Phoenix. He's in Phoenix now. I'm asking you, with Devin Booker and Bradley Beal there, why isn't he the lead dog?
Did you watch the playoffs last year?
I'm asking you, bro. I'm asking you.
I'm trying to answer it. When you watch the playoffs, Devin Booker ran that whole offense.
So in Phoenix, Kevin Durant is not the lead dog.
He is not the lead dog. I don't know if anyone was mistaken. Bradley Beal got there. He said, "This is Booker's town." It's exactly what he said. He never said anything about Kevin Durant. None of that.
Okay.
I don't even like Devin Booker. He earned my respect last year after running the offense and finding Kevin Durant play in, play out, and got those one game against Denver. It was amazing what Booker did. That was Kevin Durant-esque, actually, and at his peak.
Okay.
I can't wait till you guys read the comments.
I think the respect that KD and Beal have for Book is gonna just elevate him to like being the man. I hear what you're saying. KD is still great enough to be the guy, but I think the respect that those two guys have coming into that situation, I think they really want to elevate Book to being that guy. I think,
Listen, fellas, I don't care what Kevin Durant say. Phoenix is going to go as far as Kevin Durant takes them. He can say whatever he want about Booker. Just like when he was in Golden State, people could run with that narrative. oh, Steph Curry took a back seat. And listen, you're going to go as far as Kevin Durant goes. He might not have, like Dom said, this here and the leadership and the qualities that we may want him to have. But whatever team he goes to, he is the lead dog.
That's not true.
I'm sorry.
That's not been true
either. But
okay.
I will.
Even hold on. Even when he was clear cut the best player in
Okay.
OKC, it never felt like he was the lead dog.
Okay.
It felt like he was
Yes, it
struggling
did.
with dog. I'm not talking about talent. I'm not talking about who we thought was the best player. I'm talking about his attitude, his personality. He was giving it like he was giving in to Westbrook. You could tell.
True.
That's the same thing with Draymond. Why are you letting Draymond talk to you like that?
Some
That
guys
should have
are
never
more vocal. Some guys are just vocal guys.
Listen. I'm answering that.
But
That's
I think,
part of the reason why he's not the lead dog. That's part of why
but there's two types of
he's
leaders,
lost.
right? There's a leader of vocal, and then there's a lead by example as your best player. Then there's guys that are both and one, which is like Kobe, LeBron, Bill Russell, Wilt Chamberlain.
I just think he leads by how he plays on the basketball court.
Right.
He's not the vocal guy. He's not the vocal guy. So you're not gonna get him to be that guy that's gonna like galvanize the troops as a Draymond would do, or as a PJ Tucker would do, or as those type of guys. Right. They not he's not that. And I think that's personally, just for his sake, I think that's an unfair knock on him because everybody is just not like that. Like Kawhi Leonard doesn't get the smoke that KD gets for his lack of leadership. They just know when he's out there. In
our circles he does, because in Clipper fan circles now it's a conversation.
That's fair, Dom. I just think on the national in LA, I'm sure it's crazy, but on the national level, I don't think Kawhi gets the smoke that he deserves for the lack of vocal leadership that he has. We just accept the fact that Kawhi is not vocal, and it is what it is. But KD gets killed for the fact that he's not a vocal leader. I don't think that that's necessarily fair to him. That's just who the nigga is. He ain't a nigga that's going to church.
Let me ask you a question.
Can I say one thing before you go all ball?
Yeah,
I think that's totally fair. The only thing I'll say is we haven't mentioned Kawhi Leonard's name once in this conversation, and I think that's why KD gets that smoke, because we put him in these conversations with Oscar and Wilt and that.
That's fair.
Go ahead.
That's fair. That's fair, Don.
Now, in Phoenix, when they went to the chip, who was the lead dog?
Chris Paul was the vocal leader. Booker was their best player.
I asked a simple question. Who was the lead dog?
Come on, man. Devin Booker was the lead dog.
I'm going with Booker because he's the best player.
All right.
I don't listen. If you're talking about who the vocal leader is, who was the leader in the locker room, who knows whatever. I'm that right, but that's what somebody like Flea is implying. No way possible. Dirk Nowitzki was not a vocal leader, and when he finally showed his face and against the Miami Heat the second time around, they won. That's what happened. The previous 10 seasons before.
Booker,
he stopped leading by example. That was Dirk Nowitzki's problem. For some reason, he let Steven Jackson check him. He let all these other guys on the Heat check him.
Booker, that championship run, was the best player on the Phoenix Suns. He wasn't the lead dog. It was Chris Paul.
Okay.
Right now, I mean, hey, we gonna see this year. But right now, the lead dog, it's only one team Kevin Durant will go to, and he might not be the lead dog, and that's the Denver Nuggets. Any other team he goes to, he's the lead dog. I'm sorry.
I think he was there on Brooklyn.
I don't agree. I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that, OG.
By the way, speaking of lead dogs, as much as I love Giannis, I don't think he deserves to be top 20 all time already for one ring, and I don't think he deserves to be top 20 all time.
Well, he got back-to-back MVPs, final MVP, right?
That's fantastic. I mean,
he's been in MVP conversation the last 5 years.
He don't belong. Does he belong over D Wade?
That's very debatable. I would take Dwayne Wade over Giannis personally. I'm taking Dwayne Wade.
Giannis also has a Defensive Player of the Year award. Being the best defender in the NBA.
It should be at Anthony Davis's house, but that's a story for another day.
Now, listen, there's no way possible you're telling me this. Like, Giannis has been in the top. Forget the MVP, bro. Every consensus, top 2 or 3 player in the game.
Season award. The regular season devalued.
D Wade was not the top 2 or 3 player in the game for 5, 6, 7 straight years, bro. Was not the case. He wasn't. Giannis is, and not only that, Giannis was a 2-way player.
Hey,
and you forget, you just said that championship run like it was nothing. He impacted both sides of the court.
Dwayne Wade beat the Detroit Pistons with Ben Wallace, bro. The Bucks beat the Atlanta Hawks with Trae Young and John Collins. That team's a fucking joke compared to the Pistons. Dwayne Wade, I'm taking D Wade. But that's a good debate. I'm just saying Giannis.
Hold on. D Wade out the gate. Marquette was tough.
Giannis better than Garnett.
It took him a little time. I'm not saying Giannis
took him
ain't
second to develop.
Right. I'm not saying he's not great, but I'm just saying him being top 20 so early, it just goes to show you when they like who they like, they gonna put you up there. He don't
Jokic not even on the list. Jokic is not even in the top 30. Jokic is better than Stockton and Chris Paul.
That's interesting. The Joker's not on that list.
Hold on. There's a caveat to that. Now here's the thing. That says ESPN's top 30 players out of the 75th anniversary.
Oh yeah,
that's what that says.
So Jokic is in there. Good job, Fabian. Good job, Fabian.
Yeah, that's a lot of guys wasn't right.
Not a lot of guys.
Right. Good point.
So maybe that's why Kawhi's not there. Because Kawhi's
on the top 70. Kawhi was on the top 75. He just didn't make the list. I have no problems with it though, because he isn't playing enough. But
okay,
I don't have a problem.
Get to these comments.
Jerry West below Giannis, I can't rock with that either, bro. Jerry West is really, really good. Like again, Oscar Robertson. Jerry West is in that KD Oscar category. Let me just tell you this about Jerry West before we move on. I'm doing the study of the 72 season right now. You know how the Lakers won 33 games in a row? Everybody knows about that, bro. I said it in the chat. This man started the season 37-0. That's crazy, and he's getting 15 assist games. Like he's playing real point guard, and he's getting double-digit assists. How many times Steph Curry averaged 9+ assists? You feel me?
Talk to him.
I'm just saying.
Get Steph Curry out of here.
Hold on. Hey, Dom,
I'm just saying how great Jerry West is.
Now, what are you talking about? Steph Curry top 50 all time in assists. What are you talking about?
Let's read these fucking. By the way, before we read the comments, Fabian got the Wilt Chamberlain stats. You have to go to the Celtics series for that. Click on 67.
Yeah, we know Will averaged 40, 40, and 40, man. We know that already, man.
What year was it? Jesus Christ, Dom. Hurry up, Dom. Which one?
Yo, Wilt Chamberlain stats look like my social security number, man. That shit is done.
Go to the
67. This one. Oh, wait, right. That's his best season.
I know it is. Don't go like that.
Number great.
What'd you just do? Go to. I don't know. Click on the team. 67.
Hold on. Don't try to show Wilt Chamberlain stats and put a picture up of Ant-Man talking about he the GOAT. Don't be
serious. Well, go up, Fabian. Go up where it says the Celtics series.
Yo, I can't wait till All-Star break when this nigga too is raving about.
Hey, yo, Flea.
I can't fucking wait for that shit.
Hey, Flea.
He's gonna all that. Y'all remember? I gotta retract the retraction. Y'all remember that fly shit?
Hey,
this motherfucker, I can't wait for that shit, yo.
Hey, Flea.
I can't wait.
Hold on, Flea. Fabian is trying to show Wilt Chamberlain stats next to Ant-Man face. Y'all think y'all slick. Go ahead.
Those stats, though, bro. That's against Bill Russell. He's putting up those numbers.
What is it? What's the numbers? I can't see it. Read them off.
How many minutes he's playing?
21 points. He only scores 21 points a game.
Yeah, but that helped the team.
32 rebounds a game.
Hold on, how many rebounds? How many rebounds?
Is that here?
32.
Where do you see that?
That's 21, 32.
Oh, right here, my bad.
I know, against Bill Russell. That ended the 8-year championship streak, bro.
Yeah, but a triple-double on your man. On your man's dome piece. Get out of here with Bill Russell. That's official.
He can't win every year.
21.
Give Bill Russell out. God bless the dead.
Win every year. I'm just saying.
Let's get to these comments. They've been shitting on us all day long.
A 32 rebound triple double. Yo, I don't give a fuck what the comments say. Get Bill Russell the fuck out of here.
Hey, he was getting 20-something rebounds too.
Sorry, Dom. It's a unanimous decision. No, not unanimous. By the scorecard. Bill Russell.
Rest in peace, Bill Russell too. By the way, rest in peace,
Bill Russell. God bless you. But we got you the fuck out of here tonight.
I'm still taking Bill's resume over Wilt's resume. Sorry, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
1,000%. I agree with that. On top of all the insane
I heard that, Don. That was good. That was good, Don.
He led two of the top 5 most dominant championship teams in NBA history.
Facts.
NJD. KD never had a 3-dub. Wilt won 7 scoring titles. KG never won a 3-piece thing, I guess, right?
7 scoring titles is also something we can't just scoff at.
That's insane.
Especially with Oscar and Jerry West in the league.
I will. 7 scoring titles,
man.
4 MVPs, 2 titles. That's way better than KD. KD made the bitchiest move in NBA history. That's why his career isn't up to par with others. Everyone always says it 24/7, but it's true, even if it's over talked about. What you don't talk about, hepatitis see you later,
I love
is that that's a crazy name. Hepatitis see you later is
He's a
nuts.
diehard. He's a diehard.
Listen, hold on. You need to in the words of TK Kirkland, who raised you hepatitis? You can't walk around with that name. That's crazy. Number one. Number two, Steph Curry also rolled out the red carpet for your mans. He didn't refuse. He didn't lock the door on Kevin Durant. Knock it off. Wilt and Bill Russell weren't the only good centers from the 1960s. I didn't say that Sports Wikipedia. Wait, why'd you show up now? Wilt came back.
Don't forget the great Willis Reed.
Well, Willis Reed was ill. Wilt came back that same season from a patella tendon tear. Andre Roberson had that same injury in 2017 and still hasn't come back. And this was in 1970. Now, yeah, Wilt was a monster.
Bro, he's not a human.
That's
dude.
crazy.
The shit I be finding out about this guy, the more I study, is crazy, man. He's insane.
Oh, that's Zach right there. Big shout out, Zach.
Zach just showing us the whole show. Dom, please stop saying.
Go ahead.
No, you go ahead. You interrupted me, Dom. Go ahead.
I was gonna say every week it's always Flea is spitting and all these other guys are bozos, but this week it seems like everybody's on my side. Everybody's on my side this week.
We love it, Dom.
Stop saying we didn't see them. Film exists. Either you understand what you're seeing or you don't. No, I said he's not close to Jordan, period, which he's not. Petrovic gave me 50. Oh, gave MJ 50. Okay. Hakeem, greatest post scorer. And he wasn't scared.
Hold on. Gilbert Arenas gave Kobe 60. What is that supposed to mean? Hold on. They kill me when they show that one highlight of Pet going crazy, just like Chris Jackson, Mahmoud Abdul-Rauf gave Mike the business. Everybody gonna listen. If you gonna play
NBA players
and you playing against some of the greatest players that ever played the game, you're gonna get fried. The point is making the effort. I don't care when they say that. That should be just hilarious to me.
Either way, me and Flea, we're gonna rewind this, because how the hell did Rick Adelman play Danny Ainge over Petrovic in the 91 finals? That was stupid.
I'm asking a guard because Petrovic guard.
Can Danny Ainge guard? Who the hell? Danny Ainge gonna guard Michael Jordan? Get the fuck out. All right, man. Hakeem, greatest post scorer and greatest defensive player last 50 years. What do you guys think? Easily, sports Wikipedia.
What's 50 years? Yeah, the 70s.
I'm not mad at that.
I have to watch more tape, but I'm not gonna argue.
Yes, KD's rings combo. We all know the story behind it. You know it too. The evil laugh. The misconception about Russell's scoring ability. He did for Boston what they asked him to do based on the other scorers on the team. He was 20-20 in college.
Yes, Fish. Fish. 10-0 in game 7. 10-0 in game 7. Next.
Let me ask everyone on the panel. When y'all think of Kevin Durant, do you really think of a champion? I 100% do not. AllBall, that's a question for you.
Amazing talent.
That's a question for you. No, look, he's laughing. They got him. They got him. Do you think of a champion when you think of Kevin Durant?
Yeah, no. I'm laughing because once again, we may not like how certain people do things, but when it's all said and done, it's gonna say champion.
You're right.
I mean, I don't know. Like I said, I don't know how people, like I said, we could not like it, but it's not gonna say Kevin Durant and nothing else. It's gonna say 2-time champion.
And right on cue, AllBall's in love with KD's talent. NBA Finals MVP was invented in 1969. If it had been invented earlier, then he would be the Finals MVP in 67.
That's what I said. Yeah, for sure.
Of course you said that, Dom. I proposed a few months back that the NBA should assemble a legitimate panel of NBA historians to retroactively appoint awards to players when certain awards didn't exist. Finals MVP, Defensive Player of the Year, etc. Jesse, you need to work for the NBA, bro. Like, you know too much shit.
You would need guys like Bestie and the people that were alive at that time, Jasons of the world. Those guys.
That's a great point.
It's hard though. It's hard to pick Defensive Player of the Year. We don't have any game footage.
Yeah, Ninja's never seen MJ, but he one out of two to bring. Okay, yeah, that's crazy. I like Stockton, but there's no way he would be ahead of Dwayne Wade. Exactly. Oh, he's about Braun. Ninja's never seen MJ, but he's 1-2 to bring Braun over Braun, I guess. Okay.
I don't get that comment.
I think he's saying they never seen Jordan play, but they're putting him over LeBron. Like they're just doing it out of respect. Like Phoebe saying. One thing everyone can agree on.
Yeah, I was gonna say that.
I mean, people are lazy. Nah, there is mad YouTube footage of people reacting to Michael Jordan's highlights, and it's hilarious. They're like, "Yo, this guy's a god." Like, yeah, bro.
He does jump off the page, but Zach, I mean, I get the statistical totals thing, but like, do you think John Stockton would trade the assist and steal record for the 3 rings that Wade has in the Finals MVP? I think he might.
But hold on. Stay there real quick. Are we sure Stockton had a better career than Dwayne Wade?
That's what I'm saying. I don't.
Maybe
I don't think so. But his longevity is incredible.
Can we kind of try to? I don't know the word I'm looking for, but is it? I mean, do we care about? Remember, you gotta have a longer career, but does that mean you had a better career?
It depends what you value as better.
That assist and steals record is up there with Kareem's scoring record, right?
Okay.
Like,
and LeBron.
It's higher because LeBron passed it. I don't know if that shit's getting passed.
Right, that's what I'm saying. I was just saying it's been up there. Kareem had that record for almost 40 years. So what I'm saying is it took a guy to play 20 plus years and play at an elite level for 20 years. Like, there's no way the average Joe, the average great NBA player was going to be able to do what LeBron did to get that scoring title. What I'm saying is what Stockton has done with the assists and the steals. Pull that up. Who's second?
No, it's crazy. I agree. No, it's,
you know what I'm saying? Like, who's second?
I agree, but
I don't. Yeah. To what you're saying though, real quick, OJ. I don't think that elevates his career per se over D Wade's. Just that. That's all I'm saying. Maybe other players, like I said, definitely maybe a CP or other players. But I'm saying D Wade coming out of Marquette, what he did, and like I said, bar injury, we already know. Just imagine if he was healthy his whole career and still was able to have the success he had. Like I said, I'm a big Stockton guy. I have him top 10 greatest point guards all time. I've always argued over Stockton. So it's no disrespect to him, but he doesn't belong on the list over Dwayne Wade. I'm sorry.
I agree with you. I think that's the whole thing why I have Mike over LeBron. Like, he has a better career, short amount of time. To me, he's a better legend. Just when I think of greatness, I lean more towards Mike. Same thing with D Wade versus Stockton. Stockton wasn't great because of like year in, year out. He might have been the best point guard one season, maybe. D Wade's in the conversation with top 3. I'm not, but D Wade was better than Stockton every season of his life. Every year D Wade played basketball of his life, he was better than Stockton.
No,
I hear what you're saying, but I hear what you're saying.
What? What's the argument, Dime?
Yeah,
when he was hurt.
No, he definitely wasn't better than him when he was on the Bulls.
Yeah, the crazy run on the Bulls.
In Cleveland,
Rondo
didn't.
What? They were like one game away from the conference finals, something like that.
No, they didn't. They were up 2-0 on the Celtics, and then Rondo got hurt, and they looked like a joke. Rondo was the only reason they were up 2-0.
They were up 2-0 on Boston, and Boston won 4 in a row and got them the fuck out of here.
Because Rondo got hurt. So Wade was decent, but I'm not saying he was better than Stockton, like any Stockton year. But up until 2016, I think you have a point.
Right. And the all-time leaders, by the way, is John Stockton, Jason Kidd, and Chris Paul. And Jason Kidd's like
Chris
600
Paul
away.
Break into that. But
and what? Assists?
Steals. Assists
steals?
all time.
Yeah, assists might be the same exact people.
Right?
Braun
Mark
is
Jackson
top
gotta be
4,
up there
though,
too.
I think.
Yeah.
Braun up there. Braun definitely.
Yo, same people. Assists. Stockton, Kidd,
funny?
Chris Paul.
That's hilarious.
That's funny.
Keep going though.
Because they're always on ball, right?
Clyde Frazier and Jerry West would, again, if their steals were calculated, it's very unfortunate for them, but they have a lot.
And we saw the funny thing is we saw this last week with it was LeBron was number 4.
Yeah.
Are we finished with the comments?
No.
That's what I'm saying. I was trying to play him during, but Fabian got mad at me.
Bro, hold on. You said Braun was 4, right?
Yeah.
I think Curry was what, 45?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Go ahead with the comments. I'm sorry.
Yo.
I didn't get mad.
You
If we're talking,
straight
I don't
to
want to zoom out. I don't want to zoom out of us talking, Dom. Like, if we're talking, because you know what's funny, when Dom is talking, he goes like this. We zoomed into Dom. When you're talking, he goes, yeah. So we're gonna just keep scrolling through the comments.
No, I was not doing it simultaneously.
Hold on.
You guys did it when I was talking.
Before you finish, hold on. 45th all-time
best point guard
as a great point guard.
Hold on.
Crazy.
I got a counter for that though.
What?
I'm looking up now. I think what we're not factoring is that he played like 800 games so far.
Who?
Everybody played 1,000 games.
All right. So he got some ground. All right. He got some ground to make up. So you say he could go from 45 to what? 43?
Nah, way more than that. Way more than that. Hold on.
Fuck
Look.
out
No, he's not a point guard.
That's
We
foul.
know that.
All right,
Okay,
I'm
but
sorry.
all right.
I'm sorry.
But
I'm sorry.
I'm saying I had to retract
I'm
my
sorry.
retraction.
I'm sorry. Go ahead though.
Where's this? All right. Is it games played? Do you see it? No, you don't see
Nah.
it.
You haven't put it up yet.
Oh, I'm sorry. It says assists, but where are they? Oh, right here. Boom, my bad.
But all these guys played like 15 plus years. Magic Johnson only played like 13. He's on this list.
Right, but that's my point. Look, Magic's at this many assists. He's top 7 with 906.
Greatest.
Isaiah Thomas top 10 without playing 1,000 games. Ray John Rondo, same thing. Tim Hardaway, look, top 20
Lenny
without that many
Wilkins.
games.
Shout out Lenny Wilkins, man. I've been seeing people say that he shouldn't have been top 75. I don't know if I agree with that. Lenny Wilkins is really good.
Lenny
The
Wilkins
wrong-
is not no top 75, man. Come
They
on.
made it.
He's not.
What's wrong with Lenny Wilkins?
Kyle Lowry.
What's wrong with Lenny
Look,
Wilkins?
hold on. Kevin Johnson has way more assists than Steph Curry, and he played like 100 less games.
Yo, how many of these guys is scoring champions on this list besides Steph Curry?
True.
Nick Van Ness led the league in scoring for like
Kobe
2
Bryant.
months.
Great point.
No.
Great point.
I asked you a question.
Touche.
Great point.
How many scoring
LeBron.
champions on this list?
Lenny Wilkins is good, man. Y'all sleep.
2.
How
Steph
many
Curry led the league in scoring.
MVPs? How many MVPs was on that list?
A good amount.
3,
Not a lot.
Not a
4.
lot.
Not a
Yeah,
lot.
that's a lot.
I don't think we
What
should
you
do the
doing? What-
assist and just take away from Curry. Keep going.
Yo, that nigga
There's
lucky.
so many comments.
Yo, I'm listen, because I gotta get out of here, right? I'm gonna say this. Flea, I love you. And you said something last week that was super ill, right? He was like, yo, what if Curry would have won, and that would have been 4 straight, this and that.
Mhm.
That nigga lucky KD went over there, bro. I'm just listen, man. Listen. And I'm a Steph Curry guy. I like Curry. Lucky KD went to Golden State. Thank Russell Westbrook for making it hard to play with an OKC.
Pause.
And KD going to Golden State, man.
It would be different. It should be different. We'd be looking at it different.
Hold on, no. How you concede that quickly? How about
Should be nasty out here.
KD's lucky he went to Golden State too? Knock it off. They
Okay,
both were
okay.
lucky.
No, I know
Okay.
that.
Majorly.
What do I always say? I've always said it's a match made in heaven for both of them. I always say
Yes.
that.
Right.
Like,
You were
Yes.
consistent. You were
Yes.
consistent. All balls and antagonists, we know. The Z Show, according to LeBrick Stanboy, Stockton should be the GO point guard. He's the all-time top. Yeah, we don't care, Jesse. We disagree. We all disagree about that shit over on this side. Wade bust Dirk's ass in the finals. Okay. Wilt Chamberlain went to the finals 6 times, way more than KD. Thank you, Kicks. My bro.
Go
Go
ahead.
ahead. No,
I was gonna say that can be a little unfair because there were less teams, so the probability is higher for him to go to the finals, but it still wasn't easy to go to the finals. Keep going.
Braun went 10 times in a row. We don't never talk
Okay,
about that.
Crazy.
Magic was 9
Everyone
times.
talks about that, man.
That's crazy. I ain't gonna lie. That's so still
That's
like
crazy.
that's nuts. That's nuts. Yes.
9 and 10 times. It's
Hey, we never
crazy. It's
talk about-
nuts.
It's incredible. Magic also went 9 times, but no, that he doesn't get any credit for that.
But he didn't
bro-
go 9 straight.
But Braun
No.
did
He
it
go
10
not
times
right.
in a row.
A
Like,
roll.
I
for
know,
a
He
decade-
dominated. He
for a
dominated the
decade
conference.
straight.
Yeah.
A
And they say he
decade
was scared to
straight
go
on
out
the
west,
front.
and then he won out west.
Well, he didn't make the
Huh?
playoffs his first year out west. Didn't make his
I don't
playoffs
care.
his first year out
Nah.
west. You thought that shit was sweet.
Wow. See, you see, that's why they don't give him credit. Down. Look, I said he was scared to go out west, and then when he went
What
out
is
west, he
scared?
won. But he won. He lost the first
No,
year.
no, no.
Damn.
Hold
Didn't
on.
make the playoffs.
Hold on. He went out. He went out west, and he had a plan. He didn't just go out there. Let's not hold on. And then the plan. Remember, he tried to call Kawhi Leonard. He tried to call Paul. He tried to call it. Y'all know my thing.
Super Friends?
He tried to call a super team. So stop it. He tried to go out there with reinforcements. So
Hey,
he was shook.
He also,
Stop it.
I mean, look, he did win his championship and he did win it fair and square, but I mean, he's missed the playoffs four times in his career.
Did he really win it fair and square, or did he find a loophole in the system?
No, two. I'm not gonna take that away from him. 2 times he didn't make the playoffs the first
Tough
2
check.
years of his career, but then the other 2 times in the West after he had already been a beast. So
Do
Just
they
saying.
ever do they say that about anyone else? Did they win it fair and square? That's a
Without
crazy question.
that
anyone
bubble,
that won the bubble, they would have questioned it. I think. Anyone
without
won
that bubble, we seen what he would have been in the West. A disaster.
That's not
Stop
true
it.
though. That season they were the number 1 seed. Him and Anthony Davis were on a mission. He had a great supporting cast. That
Nope.
Laker team was the
Without
best. team in the
Anthony
world
Davis
all
was
year.
the best, was at his best during that time.
Yeah.
We were talking about
incredible.
his tenure with the
Thank you.
Lakers. He was
And
the
LeBron
best
was
right
very
there.
good too.
Without the bubble, No playoff or no playoffs, a sweep. Disaster. Stop it.
No,
Stop
I
it.
disagree.
He ain't built for the West. He ain't built for the West. I'm saying.
What team would have beat them that year? What team would have beat them in the West?
And Dom, I've been saying that team ain't good. You used to go against me.
That team was a different team.
Yeah, okay.
With Dwight Howard and JaVale
who would have
McGee,
beat them?
3 7-foot rim protectors.
Answer the question, AllBall. What team would have beaten the Lakers in that season?
Yeah, don't say
in
the
what
Clippers.
season? The bubble season?
Yeah,
Yes.
don't say the Clippers.
Without the
Listen,
bubble.
I don't know. I'm just saying without no, because y'all trying to be slick. Without that bubble, all right. No,
we're trying to be slick. Okay.
No. Let's go. Hold on. When he first got there, did he make the playoffs? What happened?
No,
he got hurt.
He sat
All
out.
right, no. Did he make
He
the
got
playoffs?
hurt.
No,
Okay,
he
got hurt.
failed.
Then wasn't it a season where they might have lost in the first round of Phoenix or something like that?
Yes.
The season after they won the championship.
2019, he got hurt.
Right.
2020.
Right. Okay.
No, I said 2019 he pulled the groin, right? Got hurt.
Yes.
And we got 2020 is the bubble.
Right.
They win.
Right.
21, they get bounced by Phoenix first round.
Yes.
22
didn't make the play-in.
They don't make the playoffs. This past year, they get bounced in the semifinals.
Conference finals.
Conference finals. Excuse me, conference finals.
No. They didn't get bounced. They got swept.
Okay, but AllBall. This is going back to the second year. They were the number 1 seed when the COVID hit, and they beat the Bucks and my Clippers on national television 2 straight nights, and they showed everybody that, you know what, we're probably the best team this year.
Once again,
they had 2 top 5 players on the same team.
Okay,
that season, 2 top 5 players on the same team.
I give you that. That could be an argument, a discussion for another day. I give you that. But like Fade said, I see why he was shook of the West. In my opinion, he ain't built for the West.
Listen, I'm the biggest LeBron's East was trash person, but I don't think he was shook of the West. But I definitely think that East definitely contributes to the 10 in a row. But that 10 in a row is still incredible.
You go to the Lakers with Anthony Davis and you call up Kawhi Leonard, you call up Paul George, and in the summer you're trying to recruit Dame Lillard. I don't know what you call that.
You call that going and winning the championship with Anthony Davis and Kyle Kuzma as your third best player. That's what you call it. You go and do that. You don't get all the guys you just named. You go win a championship.
Who they played in the
chip? Cheese with Dion Waiters.
Miami.
Who they played in the chip?
A very average finals team relative.
What did Giannis and everybody say about the bubble? Niggas having anxiety attacks and all type of shit, right?
Yeah, but they were still the best. If it was a weird, outlandish winner, then I would agree with you. But it was the best team in the league.
Only the strong belong.
Why you hit us with the movie line, please? Only the strong belong. My man came with the ancient Chinese proverbs.
Keep going with the comments.
Only the strong belong.
Hey, fellas, I gotta go.
All right, man. Listen, we're gonna read the comment, and I want to give Fleas a thing on First Take too. I'm keeping you on, Flea. I don't care what you say. I'm keeping you hostage. You want to give a take on it real quick about Shannon Sharp First Take debut? AllBall. 10 seconds.
Yes, I hate it. It was terrible. I'm just being honest. Shannon Sharp actually looked nervous. That's the first time I've seen him look nervous. He called Stephen A. skip live on air.
Twice.
So I'm talking now. I don't know how it's gonna look for the future, but I hate it. I told y'all that from the gate because it's forced. They don't know each other, so they got to be on there, act like they so cool. There's no chemistry. I understand they 2 brothers, but once again, you have to have chemistry. Skip Bayless, I love that. It's terrible. I need them guys to take over his whole show and get him out of there. I don't like that show neither because, once again, my opinion, at least with Skip and Shannon, they groomed each other, or I can say Skip groomed Shannon, and it looked like they wanted to be there. I don't know. It just looked good. I'm saying for me, the Richard Sherman thing looks forced, and Stephen A. and Shannon, they got a lot of work to do. I'm sorry. I may be wrong, but right now, from what I've seen so far, both of those, Undisputed and First Take, they got a lot of work to do.
All right. And AllBall TV on everything, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter. That Deion Sanders post. I remember we've been shouting out Deion since he was at JSU. I know there was a lot of controversy with the HBCUs and how he moved, but this thing with primetime is he's proven that he's primetime no matter where he goes.
It's legit. It's legit. Fellas, I love y'all to death.
Yo, OG, we'll holler at you.
Always a pleasure. Four
Easy.
sportsmen for life, baby.
You heard?
Flea, I'm keeping you on, Flea. What is your thoughts on Shannon Sharp?
We're done with the comments, though?
I'll get back. I'll get back to, but I'd rather Flea
Right.
get with that. What are your thoughts on Shannon Sharp first take debut? About the whole scenario, how him being up there, being nervous, and just in general.
I don't fully agree with AllBall. I think that Stephen A. and Shannon have a little bit more chemistry than I expected. I think it's perfect to bring him in right now while it is, smack dab in the beginning of football season, because that's really, really his lane. So like he could get comfortable being there, build a chemistry, build a rapport with Molly in a lane that he's very familiar with. So I think that that's important for Shannon's success there. I think that it's going to change and evolve from just 2 days a week to 3, 4, 5. Maybe he'll be a full-time, co-host with them, because I really think Stephen A. is going to see how good Shannon is at his job, right? The first day blunders, that's going to happen. You've been saying, Skip's name, pause, for, the last 7 years, right? So having a mix-up like that is not expected, but it's okay, right? It's okay. You're still human. We're gonna figure this thing out. So I think they're a little further along than AllBall thinks. Undisputed, though, I think here's just my take on that. I read somewhere where before they decided to have this panel style where they have Sherman and Keyshawn and Michael Irvin, that Nick Wright was supposed to sit across from Skip Bayless and just pick up where Shannon left off. Now, I will be honest with you. I am not the biggest Nick Wright fan. However, I do enjoy how he approaches sports talk. I like how he approaches it. I'm not the hugest fan, but I like how he approaches talking the game of basketball, football, all of that. I like how he handles that with Chris Broussard. I think they have great chemistry. So I just think that Skip avoided that challenge, because I think Nick would have challenged him immensely. I think he avoided that challenge. And I think at some point that becomes Nick's right show. Undisputed eventually down the line becomes his show.
I don't see that.
I don't know how it happens, but I see it happening.
Oh, you mean eventually, like even from now?
I think eventually that Undisputed show become Nick Wright's show. I don't know how, but I think they get Skip out of there at some point.
I would want to see like the ratings for all of Nick Wright shows, because there's a reason why he's not on. Like they moved his show around, and I know I'm a big fan of Marcellus Wiley and just the game that he gives, and he always refers to that show. First Things First, I think it's called. I've never watched that show one time in my life, and he says that that's his favorite show.
Bouchard.
I don't like Chris Broussard either,
okay,
or Rob Parker. But like personally, I think they would help you out. Like I don't know them personally, I just don't like their takes. I think they're very, I don't know, it's like loud for no reason. Nick Wright is very biased, obviously, and getting back to Shannon Sharp, I think he pulled on the best scam that we may have seen in like sports media history. I don't know if anybody's gonna like what I'm saying. Him and Stephen A. Smith. Like
I saw your funky ass take. Go ahead.
Hilarious. You can't tell me otherwise. You can't tell me that Shannon Sharp is sitting across from Skip Bayless and co-sign this, talking about that he needs to respect players, that he's only willing to respect the players. That's what Shannon Sharp is. So that's what he's planting his flag on, that he's going to respect the players of today or yesteryear, whenever. No way. Were you allowing to Skip Bayless to call this guy Westbrook when Stephen A. Smith and Skip Bayless built this platform that you were on, that you signed up and made millions off of, and made even more millions off of now, with that kind of speech?
Remember
now
Bosch
all of a sudden
Spice?
it's time to crazy.
Do you remember that, Don? Bosch Spice?
Of course.
Dog, that's crazy. And he said it in front of his face.
Yeah.
This is the guy that you co-signed.
That was
right.
I respect Skip for a second doing it.
So this is why I'm not mad at Skip Bayless the way you guys are. He gave everybody a job. Lil Wayne and them are running amok. Michael Irvin and running amok. I really believe Stephen A. Smith and Shannon Sharp did Skip Bayless dirty as hell. I ain't mad at it. Business is business. They pulled the black card. They said, yo, it's kind of tough being on TV, being a black dude, having a white guy talk to you, whatever. Word? None of you guys, the same guy.
Skip will be all right.
He will. He will. But this
all right.
was a major move. You took his star away. The same guy that smacked him on TV verbally was Richard Sherman. And now he has a show with Skip Bayless. Like, it doesn't make sense to me. Like, and let's not forget, Shannon Sharp almost fought an entire NBA team over his fandom over LeBron. What are we talking about? The same reason why Skip Bayless disrespected you over Tom Brady. You almost fought a team on national television. What are we talking about? Shannon Sharp is lying. Stephen A. Smith is lying. Y'all, whether Shannon knows it or not, Stephen A. Smith is a real live Queens ninja. I love it. I love it. Sneaky Queens ninja.
I think that show is gonna have a little more success than Undisputed, though. Like, I think they'll be a little more successful than Undisputed.
You know what?
And there's also a reason why. There's a reason why they've been number one. Like, obviously, ESPN gets a bigger market, but there's a reason why they've been number one that entire Undisputed run. Like, they gave them no competition. So I think
how much better can Undisputed get than Skip versus Shannon? And as much as they had those fireworks in the middle of their 10 fireworks last year, you can't pull more ratings against First Take then. You ain't doing it now.
Yeah, I don't see it happening. I don't see it happening.
Dime, do you have any takes on this gossipy ass sports media talk?
No, I say we keep going to the comments because there's a lot of them.
All right.
What we got?
KD has never made an all-D team. What the F? You're right, Jesse.
Very
if
true.
he chooses to, KD needs to do it consistently. KD just became a better defensive player with the Warriors of the defensive help that he had. We corrected this last week, right, Flea, when we said KD actually started playing defense on OKC with Scott Brooks.
No,
what's the Florida coach? Billy Donovan. 8th spot is fine for Duncan. 4 and 11 spots all time are pretty fluid for me. Duncan at 8th is fine. Also, top 5 is fine. Of course, it is for you, Jesse. Duncan over Wilt. F out of here.
Well, I think that's a good debate, but I'm surprised that Zach is so adamant on that with Wilt.
Right, Duncan over Magic. See, the Duncan over Wilt thing to me is strictly about career then. Because if they played one-on-one, because if it's skill versus skill, I don't really know.
Underestimate Wilt, man. He's 7'2" with skill. He can turn over either shoulder.
I don't. I just seen Duncan versus Shaq, and it was like it shouldn't have been in the same stratosphere.
He's more fundamental, I'd say.
Yeah, Duncan was great though.
But Wilt's turnaround over the right shoulder is really hard to block. He's like 7'2".
I've seen some footage, Dime.
Yeah,
your man has no left hand.
That's fine though. He's 7'2" with long arms. He gets away with it with bounce.
You heard what he said, right, Flea?
Have a great left hand.
You heard him, Flea, right?
Tony Parker didn't have a great left hand.
Yeah, I heard him. I heard him. I don't know if he could get away with not having a left hand against other elite bigs, but we'll see.
There was more elite bigs defending him back then. He's not than now. That's for sure.
Than now, yeah. But during the elite big man era, I don't know if Chamberlain is as elite. That's just
getting
my
away
take,
with that.
But the 60 centers are fantastic. I'm gonna have to do more content on them for you, Fabian.
Please do, because
we're gonna have to.
I already made comments on Willis, and he also played against Kareem. Let's not forget he played against Kareem, a very spry, athletic one as well.
And he looked ill.
I know.
Wilt and HD was crazy. Duncan, over Kobe. Nope. Thank you, Fish. I also think if any other legend had Duncan's resume. Go ahead, Dime. Dime always chooses when I begin a comment and he just knows Dime. Go ahead, Dime. No, you didn't.
No, I didn't have anything.
What up? I also think if any other legend had Duncan's resume, generally speaking, their greatness would be way less unquestionable.
Kind of agree.
I don't know.
Nobody liked the way Duncan did it. He wasn't a guy that had that many. Like, have you ever met a Tim Duncan stan? I haven't.
I met one.
I know one.
Really?
Yeah, I got 2. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. He was arguing over Shaq back then.
I would love to meet a Tim Duncan stan.
Yeah, I do.
3 Finals MVPs for Duncan, and he was easily the best player on that 07 team when Parker got Finals MVP. Do you think Parker
Agreed.
deserved that MVP, guys? Finals MVP?
From my memory,
He was
yes,
amazing in
but
that
I've never
finals.
watched the
They
series.
beat the shit out of Cleveland, and they had no answer for him.
But you know what's interesting? That Cleveland series kind of reminds me of this past Lakers Denver in the sense that a lot of the games were close.
Very close.
You know, the Cavs were kind of in there.
Yeah.
Remember?
But you could tell that San Antonio was just a better team down the stretch.
Oh, 100%. 100%.
Yeah.
It would have to have had LeBron heroics for them to pull some games out, and he couldn't hit a jump shot in that series.
He couldn't hit a jump shot to save his life. Yeah.
But Parker deserved that Finals MVP in 2007. He's killing the Cavs in that final series. Just how he was in the paint was insane that season.
Unbelievable.
Like
but they couldn't keep him. But what you said, Don, they couldn't keep him out the paint.
Of course, no. It's crazy. Tony would get to that left side and he would do that little scoop backhand and he would make it every time.
It was like he knew where Duncan was at. Even in that era, he knew he was going to be at that spin move, and he led the league for like half a season in points in the paint. It was crazy. Like I thought it was a misprint. Yeah.
I still think when Tony got the mid-range 18-footer down, like in the early 2010s, that was when he like really peaked. It's like you could not fuck with him in the pick and roll after that.
I will say this to KP, Corey Patrick. This is why when Dime told me what he was doing when I first met him, I knew that he was on to greatness. Because what people don't understand is you can actually set up to watch an event as if it was as close as you possibly can, like if it was live. You go back and watch the last, year or two in basketball, and then you set up to watch last year's finals. You can set that up to you if you want. Right. So to go back and watch the 60s and 70s, I always tell this story. I watched in the 1970s. I wanted to go back and see, was Muhammad Ali really that good? I watched Joe Frazier, all the heavyweights, Ken Norton, Ernie Shavers. Ernie Shavers is crazy.
Will knock your fucking head off your shoulders.
Then you see George Foreman versus Joe Frazier. Then I put on the Rumble in the Jungle, and you see the biggest difference. Muhammad Ali looks like a glitch on the screen, and Dime always goes back to when we go back and talk about back in the day. He'll talk about like Walt Frazier and Wilt. They look like that. After a while, you see it even in black and white or when the color video comes out. So you can tell because you watch so much video. It's just like now. Those Jeff T college highlights are insane.
Really? I have to see them. Wake Forest?
Yes.
Nah, I remember I was watching Jeff. I was in college when Jeff was in. I remember Jeff in college, and he was incredible in college. Like
he was crazy,
incredible.
I can see why. Because see, he's another player where someone like Flea would be like, "Nah, Jeff Teague is nice," and I'd be like, "What?" And then I have to watch him and be like, "Oh," and he was formidable.
Jeff was like that at Wake Forest. Jeff was like that. It was him and Ish. It was him and Ish Smith in the backcourt.
Wow.
Oh, that's where Ish Smith went?
Yeah.
Feel for the game translates in every era, and confidence does as well.
It's funny. A great player translates to any era. I agree with that, but I don't like Bill Russell, Dennis Rodman. We just talked about this last week, Flea. And you said Charles Oakley. I disagreed about Charles Oakley, but all the one-way players on defense are not going to be able to be a top 20 player in this era. They're not. Mark Eaton, you name it. Too tough.
I think. Yeah, go ahead.
No, don't do that.
No, there's too many comments, bro. There's too many comments. You gotta read them.
I'm staying on until I finish them all. I am. You've got to be able to understand the difference between a player not doing something in a particular era and someone that can't do something in an era. Sometimes it's about opportunity.
That's true. And that's what AllBall was saying last week about opportunity.
Question: do any player in the past get to benefit from advances and rule changes today? All the perimeter players.
Yeah, but I honestly was just going off, what they did in their time, and that was it. Like my Bill Russell thing, like if it was up to your criteria, Fabian, if they would translate, I would put Bill Russell. I would move Bill Russell from like my top 3 all time to like way down my list. Like he'd be top 15 or something. But that's not what I'm going off. I'm going off in his time. He had to do what he needed to do, and he did it time and time again.
And then who knows if he has a little bit of Draymond in him, when he does something on offense where you go, oh damn.
No, he does have a lot. It's actually really funny you mentioned that. And I don't mean to knock Bill Russell like comparing him to Draymond, but he does a lot of the same things in the sense that like they'll give him the ball at like the top of the key, and everybody will be cutting off of him, and he'll see over the top and throw it to cutters, and like he'll get a lot of screen assists, and his dribble handoff with Sam Jones is really hard to guard. So like he does a lot of Draymond type stuff in terms of like being running your offense through him in like the high post and stuff. So
right, but then you would need the best shooter. Then you would need the best shooter of all time as a teammate also.
True, but back then, Sam Jones, John Havlicek, these guys were really good off-ball movers.
Yo, fellas, I gotta jump out of here.
All right, Flea.
See you, Flea.
My brothers, I'll see y'all next week.
We will. Yes,
Wow,
Tony
yes,
deserved that
indeed.
Finals MVP, no question. Just like Kawhi deserved Finals MVP in 2014, even though he was nowhere near the best per that year.
Facts.
Can we agree ESPN sucks at making lists? Yes. Oh, Nick Pillow, my bad. Exactly. Thank you, Corey. Greatness is greatness. Okay. Kawhi's case was a little different though, because Kawhi, when played on the great Spurs, were virtually unbeatable, but it wasn't his role to be yet a primary offensive option. I don't think he was suited for that either yet. Right? By the end of his Spurs tenure, maybe.
For sure by the end of it.
Put Hakeem with Shaq and Kareem's era, and they would win a few MVPs as well. Kareem was dominant and a great career, but less MVP competition in the early mid 70s. And think about all the great teammates he had. I think Dom could speak to this way better than I could. The rules would not favor Shaq. Shaq was very doofy and fouled out of plenty of games in the 2000s. Kobe saved his ass in 2001 against the Indiana Pacers. That series against the Spurs was amazing. Amazing. Shaq benefited a lot from the current rules too. And really the current rules of not enforcing things on superstars.
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of good players in the early 70s. I think if you had to make a case for Kareem winning too many MVPs, I would say the ABA is the best counter argument, not Shaq and Hakeem. Like, are we keeping Kareem in the league? Because if you have Shaq and Hakeem in the league against Kareem, then I don't know if Kareem's still in the league on the Bucks, then I don't know if anyone's winning MVP like over him. Like he's pretty incredible. And I don't mean,
well, if Shaq's on the Bullets in 1972, what happened?
Instead of unsold?
Yeah. It changed a lot.
I don't think might have great stats, but I don't know if he's a better fit for that era than Kareem. The slender build in a fast-paced game,
right.
The offensive fouls rules being very strict.
Well,
Kareem
if
is
he's
a better free throw shooter than him, he's just a more finesse player. He probably, I don't know, could Shaq, I mean, maybe Orlando Shaq could take the pace, but the pace is very fast in the 70s. And the travel, even from the 90s, is very different. Shaq was still riding in a nice plane, like we get to stretch his legs and stuff. Like, it's not one trainer. At the time that Shaq played, the NBA had come a long way. So I'm not going to guarantee that they win MVPs in Kareem's era. Obviously, it would make it harder. But it's not like Kareem had a shortage of great centers he was playing against. Nate Thurmond was great. Again, Wes Unseld was great. Elvin Hayes was great. Like, these were good. Spencer Haywood is in the league in 1972. He's awesome. So there's some really good players.
I think that speaks to, Shaq play. I want to say Shaq played against better defensive players, but he wouldn't be a great defensive player that would stop Kareem. Like that, he should give him problems, and he wouldn't.
Nobody can stop Hakeem Olajuwon. I don't know if anyone can stop Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. You can limit him, but you can't stop someone like that. He's still getting 20 in his sleep.
Right, but Hakeem is putting up a better fight. Matumbo's putting up a better fight on the defensive end. Patrick, they're putting up a better fight defensively. Shaq isn't. There's a lot of doofiness to him that we don't speak to. As much as I love Shaq, it's kind of doofy. It's because of his defense. Rockets, with all those stars, Phoenix shouldn't be a dark horse. My bad.
It's kind of true though.
He's absolutely right.
Yeah.
What the fuck is wrong? I'm sorry, hepatitis C. You're right, man. They ain't no damn dark horse.
I think a lot of people just don't take them that seriously because but whatever.
I do. They're like really. I think they're slept on because of the talent, but it's also KD. We're just sick of him already. Like as a group,
right?
Like,
I think that's what it is.
Yeah.
People have
and
lost
Bradley
faith
Beal. Yep. And who has Bradley Beal been really?
Right. Without John
Devin
Wall.
Booker is the lead dog in Phoenix. Thank you, Keeks. It's Booker's team. Sounds unanimous from the comments already. Then the Suns aren't going far if it's up to KD. Exactly. Exactly.
I do agree with AllBall though. To me, it is as far as KD can take him. Like as well as he plays, it'll dictate a lot.
So, what other team can you say that the second best player? Because you agree it's the second best player.
No, I don't.
Oh, you think it's the best player on Phoenix?
I think it's hard. I can't choose right now, but I would probably give KD the edge by a little bit, just because last 2 years. I mean, the only reason we're saying it is because this last playoff. So, like, I want to see a little bit more.
So then it goes. So then that goes hand in hand with your argument. That's not even much of an argument at that point. Because if I think Devin Booker is the best player, then of course they're not going as far. They won't go far if he doesn't do anything because he's their best player, in my opinion. Whoever their best player, who's winning without their second best player? Even if you think Devin Booker is their second best player, they're not winning without him.
Of course not. But I just think that KD. Here's what I'll say: I actually have more faith in Booker at this point that he'll perform to his standard. I don't know if KD will
Yes.
perform to his standard. That's what I'm saying.
You know how I feel about Booker. He proved me wrong last year. Finally, not just the defense. When Kawhi had it going offensively at the time, it seemed to supercharge the rest of the team. They almost always blew the opponent out. Crazy dynamic.
That's
Yeah,
true.
Kawhi just had the.
When he got going offensively with that team that already had so much, they were fucking teams up.
Yeah, I mean, who has a better mid range than him? Kobe, KD,
Well, no, but
Jordan.
he didn't have that kind of mid range that year that he's talking about.
No, I thought he was okay.
Not yet.
He wasn't the lead dog in Golden State. Stop it, Corey Patrick.
Agreed.
I held you down, Corey.
You and me are the ones that agree with that he's not the lead dog in Golden State.
I just think it's not clear. He can't be if Draymond called you a bitch. That's BS. Durant was a leader in Golden State. He said so himself. Stop the cap. Durant leads by example.
That's what I was saying.
Yeah, and lack thereof. He improved a lot too from the previous finals year. In 2013, he choked that free throw in Game 6. If he drained both free throws for sure, that Ray Allen 3 will never happen. Damn, that's true.
But Manu Ginobili, I blame even more because he was a star. He was, already a monster, and he missed one of the free throws as well, and that's huge.
Disagree, Flea, because KD literally admitted that he joined Golden State because he thought it would be easy, and also admitted that he didn't want to be a leader. That carries a harsh penalty. Yeah. Tim Duncan wasn't a vocal either, and he was the leader and top dog. I don't know if Tim Duncan wasn't that vocal.
Yeah, he seems like vocal behind the scenes, but also I feel like Manu talks a lot.
They all kind of.
He has a way about him though. Like I know, if you listen to the Hall of Fame speech, they were saying that like Tim, he wouldn't say much, but he gives you this. Tony said he give you this look, and that look was give me the fucking ball.
Right,
So, like,
and I don't think
his own way is communicating with others.
And Dirk didn't have that, and KD doesn't have that.
For sure.
I mean, I think it depends on who's KD's teammate. Suns will play in a team due to injuries and lack of depth. Will be one of the more disappointing teams of all time, or will be a playing team.
That's
healthy. No way.
Take. I don't think so.
Yeah. No. Well, that's not a hot take. Due to injuries, that's not a hot take. That's kind of obvious.
But even if one of them gets hurt, they still have 3 other guys that can drop 20 plus.
Nah. You don't want to depend on 70 games of just either two of those guys. That's tough. If KD gets, remember, KD's been getting hurt the last 4 seasons. Bradley Beal and Devin Booker's not cutting it. That might be a playing team without Kevin Durant. You guys are right.
Bradley Beal and Devin Booker and Ayton is better than Chris Paul, Devin Booker, and Ayton.
You just said Ayton. That's all that needs to be said. Case closed. Duncan would talk when he needed to, but he wasn't a rah-rah guy. Thank you, Jesse. Kobe, Duncan, Shaq, Hakeem, Curry too low. Wilt, Bird, Oscar too high.
Disagree with Bird, but other ones maybe.
Well, clearly, Kobe fan 124, you would think so.
I like Kobe fan 124. He has a great account.
But he is going to be biased towards Kobe. The first name he rattled off was Kobe. Keek show. Devin Booker is the best player when they got to the final. CP3 is the vocal leader.
Yep, we said that.
Even if you're not a vocal leader, leaders take all the slings and arrows and defeat. KD literally created burner accounts to escape culpability for failing in OKC.
He's great, dude. He gives it, straight.
Not yet for Giannis.
No,
I can see. I don't mind Giannis in top 20. I don't mind Kevin Garnett in the top 20 conversation. By the time 2005 rolled around, like I saw enough. Excuse me. Giannis is over D Wade. Yep, I'm with you. We can like D Wade the player, but Giannis' career is better already.
I just
a two-way player. You know how I feel about that.
D Wade's a good two-way player too. I'm not saying he's better than Giannis defensively, but I think Giannis' defense is overrated. Personally, I don't think he's a better defender than Anthony Davis. Never thought he was. I don't. I think he's very good. He's a great help side defender. On the ball, he's good. He's very good.
Yeah.
I don't think he's insane.
On the ball, he fell off even further.
He's not the same pick and roll like snuffer that AD is. AD literally will like guard 2 players at once. Better than Giannis has moments of that, but AD does like the whole game.
Well, AD's more skilled on both sides of the court easily. The only thing keeping AD back is health. Period. So yes, I gotta agree with you.
Well,
healthy
mentality to a degree as well.
Maybe
and
we don't know.
His mid range has fallen off.
Who AD?
Yeah.
Maybe so, but he's still more skilled than Giannis.
Sure,
he gets to his spots when he's healthy.
I like D Wade. It's not even about liking D Wade, but I just don't really care for the media awards, man. I know that's something that's not very popular because like I just don't care about it. I'd rather Zach Ramey get a vote for these awards than these NBA media guys. I really would. Swear. And plus, those are regular season awards. Like, I get it, but like, I just love waiting the playoffs. Giannis, the one thing I'll say about Giannis is it doesn't feel like he really improved last season. His jumper was worse.
From the
And
year
they were
before.
saying it throughout the season that his jumper, like his field goal percentage around like you know, they have the tracking data now about your jumpers and stuff, and like he was shooting like terribly. And I mean, obviously his field goal percentage is still awesome because he's so dominant around the basket. But you saw in the playoffs, like he still plays the game so like hard drive right from the top of the key, lower the shoulder. Like that's just not like he's not getting away with that in the 2000s with so many with less spacing, less shooters. It's just not. I'm not saying he wouldn't be great. He would be great, but the space that he can abuse is unbelievable. And I just don't love his game in the half court in the playoffs. I really don't.
Like he should never go to Hakeem Olajuwon. There's some guys that should never go to Hakeem Olajuwon for footwork and learning his kind of game. He should be studying and calling up Kareem Abdul-Jabbar every single day of every single minute of every single day. A hook shot from Giannis would be insane. Like imagine with a hook shot.
Yeah, I mean, it's sad because in the Suns finals, he had moments where he had some turnarounds over the right shoulder, some jump hooks, and he's just gone completely away from that. Like, it's reverted back to the charging in from the top. And it's just like, I don't know.
And also imagine him like doing a Rick Barry free throw.
Okay, well, it takes a lot
I'm
of balls
serious.
to do that. It takes a lot of balls to do that.
Yeah, but if there's any guy with
not just because people switch to the granny doesn't mean they're going to shoot 85%.
But he's also pretty. I would think he's not as like worried about his image like Shaq. Like Shaq would never do that.
About that. I can see Giannis being one of those guys that's not.
But it would be cheating if he did that. Like with those long arms. Come on now.
Not cheating.
I'm saying it would be like it would be smarter to do it. Yeah, it'd be advantageous. LeBron, KD, and Giannis are the only modern players that got ranked favorably on that list. Almost everybody else got slighted. You guys also forgot that Wilt led the league in assist wins. Yeah, he did, but that was
I should have brought that up.
But that was one of his Wilt Chamberlain moments where he's like, you know what, I'm gonna show you guys.
I understand. Really don't. People glorify these statistical things.
1,000%, but
and they still were the number one seed though. So like I can't really hate on the, you know.
But once you put me onto Al Hannum, is it Al Hannum? That's how you say it?
Alex Hannum, yeah.
Al Hannum. And I think he's a gangster. Alex Hannum. The fact that Wilt Chamberlain shot less and his field goal percentage jumped up, and then the same thing happened in the finals, in the playoffs. It's obvious. It's the same thing. What do we always talk about? Wilt, LeBron, and Shaq have the same personality type. The same personality type. And when they shoot less and kick the ball out, it makes everyone better. And it's just clear when you tell me I'm biased to the bigger players. Yeah, that's why. Because the smaller players don't have a chance at doing that. They can't just take less shots and the team automatically gets better. Because the gravity that you people talk about with Steph Curry has always been there for these giants. Flea, you know all balls retractions are coming. 1,000%. Hepatitis C is laughing. Wilt and Jordan both won 7 consecutive scoring titles. That's crazy. Like Jordan's dominance is crazy. 37 a game.
Yeah. So Wilt's though.
Yeah. Why am I more impressed by Jordan if it's kind of like Wilt, where
he's a guard? He played in the more modern time. He can watch the games.
Is he kind of like Wilt, where there's a difference between his talent and the other two guards and the players at his position's talent? Like Wilt, as great as Russell is,
center position is the best one of the era of the 60s.
Right, but it's still, I think the talent-wise, Wilt, there's a gap between Wilt and everyone else. Like Wilt, I think underachieved heavily. The fact that he could shoot less shots and they just get better.
Pure talent, yeah. But I'd say Jerry West and Oscar Robertson are really, really talented too. Without the physical, but he's not as physically talented, even though they are very physically talented as well. But they have a lot of skillful. Like when you just see Jerry West move on the court, the way he shoots, the way he's pull up, it's just so fluid, man. It's amazing.
LeBron rolled the red carpet out for KD in 2016 and got rejected. Stop it.
Did he actually?
Did he?
I'm pretty sure he did.
Petrovic never scored more than 26 on the Bulls. That's a fake narrative. And you know what I wanted to say was I think they're confusing him for Ray Chapman when he killed Jordan.
Yeah.
Drazen was no joke, though. Gone way too soon. Definitely, bro. Yo, me and Flea were talking. There's no way you play Danny Ainge over Petrovic. And they had Robert Pack as a rookie.
That's wild.
Yo, that early Blazers team, the what if with them, you keep Petrovic, Robert Pack, and Arvydas Sabonis comes in there. You talk about an incredible, like, what if? Jesus Christ. One season, World Beat Free averaged 28, but didn't get selected All-Star. Do you guys know
I
this?
did not there yet.
I want to say 1979 he did that. Jordan is the most well-chronicled athlete in sports history, other than Ali. There's no excuse not to be educated on his career. Ali, AllBall needs to be Knicks front office because I want to see how long before Knicks fans cook him. How many 50, 40, 90 was on that list? of the assists?
Yeah.
There was nobody, right?
Larry Bird. Was he on there? I don't
Oh,
think
Bird
Larry
was
Bird
up there. Yeah, because remember he was like 48. And that was
Larry,
impressive.
Larry
He had like
Smith.
800 games.
And Nash.
Oh, yeah. Flea trolling. KD played with Steph, not Steph playing. Oh, shit. I almost froze my computer up. KD played with Steph, not Steph playing with KD. Steph helped KD more than KD helped Steph. I disagree with that. What the hell are you guys talking about? Draymond Green came out and said we were scared to death. The league was figuring us out. He said this. Yes. Sometimes we believe Draymond Green.
Such LeBron clutch propaganda, dude. What a fucking bitch for saying that. They were 673-9. League was figuring them out. That's just ridiculous take. Sorry. Next.
They were down 3-1 against OKC.
Okay.
And they lost, and they blew a 3-1 lead to the Cavs in back-to-back series.
Doesn't mean they got figured out. The series was this close.
This is when this is when you show your contradictions. I finally found it. You see how you always weigh heavily on the playoffs. And we're speaking about specifically the playoffs, Western Conference Finals and the finals, the most important series in the most important games of the season. And the Golden State Warriors played 14 games. And they were taken to the limit, and they were 73-9. That's what Draymond is talking about.
That's a big difference in being found out. That's they lost by this much. And a suspension that was needed, by the way. And Steph Curry wasn't even 100% healthy. He got hurt in the second round.
Okay, so they weren't as great.
They lost.
No, but they weren't as great as the Bulls. Did the Bulls go
comparing them to Chicago? I'm not comparing to Chicago, but I'm comparing them to the rest of the league. They come back next season, and they're going to be right in there in the title discussion with the Cleveland Cavaliers, Spurs, and Thunder.
But all Draymond is saying, maybe figuring them out is kind of like crazy to say. But
Draymond giving them all he wants to promote the LeBron narrative, dude. Come on.
Okay, but let's push that to the side for a second, because I totally agree with you. There's no reason how do you kick him in the balls and all of a sudden he's your daddy today? I get it, but at the same time, there's something to that. Like you got those are for everyone saying this stuff about KD. It was 7 games that he was taken to. It was 7, and it was 1 game away from beating them. That's nothing to sneeze at. And LeBron and them, they beat you in 7 games, and they came back down 3-1. Yeah, you got an injury here, and Draymond got suspended. I get it, but it's still your lead guy. Draymond is sensing fear in him. He never disrespects Steph Curry. That's the closest thing he's ever said that's disrespectful to Steph Curry, and it should be considered disrespectful if it's not true. But if it is true, he's being quite honest. And I don't even believe Draymond half the time, but I gotta play with this information somehow. No? Okay. Michael Jordan 6 championships as the best player. Highest career points per game was with RS.
Regular season.
Playoffs and finals. Arguably best defensive shooting guard. Tied for most seasons, 200 plus steals 6 times. 5 MVPs and defensive player of the year. GOAT status. He should have more MVPs. And the defensive player of the year, I don't know if he should have had that, by the way. It's tough for a guard to get that for me. It's always crazy for me. Again, Dime will say I have big man bias. Pause. In LeBric's 8 straight trips to the finals in the Cupcake Eastern Conference, there were 81 All-NBA players in the West, 39 in the least, 26 first team in the West, 14 in the least.
Wow,
damn, Jesse be having these crazy.
I know these crazy numbers, man. It's great though. Great. I mean, I'm all about the West.
It's very Floyd Mayweather-ish by LeBron. Floyd Mayweather never fought anybody like at the peak of their powers, and neither did LeBron apparently. LeBron went to 8 straight finals.
Oh yeah, he didn't go to 10 straight finals. How do we make that mistake, bro? Can we let that slide? That's
sports Wikipedia, man. He ain't playing no games. I think sports
2010 to 2018. How did I not consider that? Fucking idiot. Anyway, continue.
LeBrick fans say Jordan winning 6 titles in 8 years equals no competition. LeBrick going to 8 straight finals in the cupcake, least in conference equals what?
Right. Again, they're idiots, but let's keep going.
Yeah, that's true. Even though I think that he didn't have a team that was competing with the Bulls like that. Preach AllBall. LeBrick's tenure in the West has been a joke. AllBall, the type of guy that probably thinks the Clippers would have won in the 2020 if it weren't for the bubble.
He didn't even have the guts to say who would have won. He just said,
Yeah.
you know,
Who's Bettis quit in 2021 and 2022? Oh, LeBron, right?
He definitely did throw in the towel easy both years, and I lost a lot of respect for him with that. I'm sorry. Yeah, against Phoenix in Game 5, he didn't even come out to play. He started playing with they were already down 20. Like, dude, what?
Yeah.
When A.D. Davis got hurt, it was time for him to shoot 25 shots, and he didn't even do that. Like, there was no urgency. It's like when AD was out, it's like, oh, okay, I'm done now. I got no chance. Like, that's what he's done since he's come to the Lakers. Every time AD gets hurt, he'll play well against the shitty teams and go crazy, but then the second things don't go his way, he'll start bitching and complaining. And I have an inside source on that from last year, by the way, within the team that told my friend. And I don't try to bring that up because people get sensitive, but LeBron totally, you can see it in the games during the Westbrook season. So, like, I don't even got to say it, but
right. If you watch, you see
his body language, bro.
Yeah, you can. You can always tell it. You can always. That's another thing too. If you can read your body language, and it's bad if it's negative. Like we can read Allen Iverson's body language, but it was never like he never acted like a pussy.
Right.
What does he mean by Bettis though?
I still don't get that one. Jerome Bettis?
You can't compare him to Jerome Bettis. LeBron got hurt in 2019. Before he got hurt, they were the 4th seed.
I understand, but what's his excuse when they came back? They were not out of the picture. We made the playoffs over them with Lou Williams and Tobias Harris. Like,
he also quit that year too. That was a Lakers season.
He also activated playoff mode and then played like ass. Like, don't even get me started.
Yo, he's the worst. He's like the worst person on your team to be talking shit in the locker room. Be like, yo, shut up, man.
A lot of Laker fans were pissed after that season, bro. They were like, what is this? Like, Kobe,
they were
crazy. They were so mad.
You came to LA.
Yeah.
You came to LA following Kobe Bryant, the leader of fucking machismo. And like, this guy's talking mama mentality and everything. And he shows up and he shows out. LeBron is the king of just talking. That not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4 is crazy.
And no, and you know what's crazy is the Lakers. But here's the thing: LeBron, when he won the next year, he said it. He found out the hard way. He said Laker fans don't care what you've done anywhere else. It's only about what you've done here. And so that was basically saying they were on me for last year, so I knew I had to do better this year.
That's like a thank you, Captain Obvious meme. And then all his lying quotes is crazy too. The bubble was the beginning of street clothes. The foot injury. You're welcome. 2021, AD got hurt. But before he got hurt, they led the series against the Suns 2-1. Yeah,
we know.
And that season he was amazing. That's the season when I was starting to be a fan of Big Joker, and AD was showing like, listen, I'm still AD. Kilk show they were the 4th seed at the time when the Grizzlies and Clippers were all alternating as a number 1 seed. The standings were wonky as ish at the time. 4th seed doesn't mean that much. But in 2022 was a disaster. Yeah, but the point is they will make the playoffs if LeBron never got hurt. Maybe. I call it a non-competitor. LeBrick had to have the NBA rig the draft for him to get AD. And on top of that, still recruiting reigning finals MVP Kawhi.
I don't know about all that.
I mean, he kind of rigged it.
I don't know about all that.
When did LeBron go to 10 finals in a row?
I'm so disappointed.
Molly got too much power. Yes, she does. AllBall podcast. Look, Force. I don't like the chemistry. Fabian trolls. That's the only positive.
Is that a sarcastic comment or being real?
I don't know, to be honest. Keyshawn has good chemistry with Skip. I actually like the show.
He's joking about Fabian. Is he joking about AllBall's comment? That's about Stephen A.
Podcast looks forced. I don't like the chemistry. Fabian trolls. That's the only positive. I don't know. Keyshawn has good chemistry with Skip. I like what they're doing, but Skip can't be the guy leading the show, like leading the way. He sounds silly and he sounds desperate for attention. Because if you want all these guys to be on the panel with you, just hold your own, bro. You're Skip Bayless at this point. Didn't see the list. My bad, Cuzzo. That's Cuzzo, right? Miami Heat 21.
Yeah.
Michael Irvin is electric. He is. And that's the other advantage that they have. If you notice, Deion Sanders was on their show today, following the biggest game of maybe his coaching career, even though he won, aside from when they won the championship at the HBCU. And he was on there for his buddy, Michael Irvin. He also went on my man's name, Pat McAfee show. I don't think he was on First Take. Maybe it was too early for him, but it couldn't be because he was on with Skip Bayless and Michael Irvin. The funniest argument they make when some clowns claim KD's the greatest scorer ever because he's efficient in the regular season. Facts, Fabian. KD's not as great a scorer as MJ, Kobe, Wilt, Kareem, the logo, and Steph Curry.
Wow.
And the logo was tough. I said Kareem. The Kobe argument is tough. Steph argument to me is tough. But Shaq, Jordan, KD's up there, man, as a scorer. Shannon Sharp is $1. Undisputed is 4 quarters now. The 2022 Eastern Conference first round for the Celtics opened my eyes that KD's not as good as I thought he was after he got swept. That's tough, Terminator, because he was coming back from the injury, man.
I like Terminator 92.
Me too. It is career 60% of Wilt shots were fadeaways. Yeah.
Really?
He
Is
also
that
didn't have a
true?
left hand.
How did they
Man.
have that data?
Word.
Yeah, but I don't understand this left hand thing. A lot of great players have not had left hand. He still
That's
gets
true
away with it.
too.
He's so tall. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He just flips it up like this and he gets it
Yeah.
off.
I disagree. Will being allowed to play bully ball, which he was
You're
not
right.
allowed to do in that era, would be even
Not
more
wrong.
dominant in modern times. Like we could,
Not
we were
fully
talking
wrong.
about Shaq doing it back.
His stats may not have been as good though as the 60s because the pace was insane and you're getting a free throw for every foul. But
if like that's my thing about when these guys, if you have, because the way we think about it, right? And we talked about the time machine game. If you just everybody from the past hops in the time machine and comes into the game today, that means it's going to be 300 superstars that playing against each other. Damn near no role players. So who's going to be the star on the court? Like there's going to be no superstar calls, and it'll be straight up basketball. Straight up basketball. So I think that would hinder someone like Giannis. Like Giannis would be out of the equation because those calls they give him are insane. James Harden out of the equation. Steph Curry out of the equation. Shaq might be out of the equation, but they don't even know how to call these calls on them. But definitely Giannis, Steph Curry, and James Harden, off the top of my head, in the super duper time machine era, they're not making it for me. All right, he said that. I'm a Duncan stan since 2000 in New York. Wilt brought in goaltending 3 seconds, wider lane.
3 seconds? Really? Is that Wilt? I'm pretty sure they already had 3
I think
seconds.
so.
I'm pretty sure they already had it.
No, they couldn't. I think they
Check
did
on
because
that.
of the
They
wider
made the
lane.
lane wider. Yeah, he right about that.
2007, LeBron couldn't close games. He didn't have a mid-range shot. That's really what ruined him against the Spurs. I really believe that. Perfect comparison. San Antonio knew all those schemes too. Ironic because LBJ chucked the Lakers out of game 1 and 2 versus Denver. You think so? I thought it was game 2, or maybe it was game 3. Or maybe because I think it was game 3 where he didn't take the shot until like the second half. Duncan over Joker. At this point,
of course.
Yeah. Joker has a lot of work to do before he's in that.
Yeah, no doubt.
We're talking about a top 5 player in a lot of people's books. Plus, AD plays soft games 2 and 4. NBA champion Jeff Teague. He's a champion? Watch video is basically game tape. That dude tripping. Carry on, Dime.
Who said?
Thanks.
Okay.
Remember somebody said, I forgot who it was. I think hepatitis C. No.
Oh, KP. No, it's KP saying lane. Yeah, but KP respects the history work I do, so I didn't take that anyway.
Right. Do y'all discuss Dion?
No.
Big.
Let's just let him keep cooking, and we'll see what he does next week.
Yeah. Draymond equals Reggie Evans 2.0.
I'm the biggest Reggie Evans defender, but Draymond's a lot better, man. We got to give him some credit.
A lot more versatile. Do you guys watch NFL?
Yeah, I do, but not nearly as much NBA. But yeah, I do. I don't know that much about it, though, because I've only been an NFL fan for 7 years since we got a team. I watched it before, but not with any interest, really.
Yeah. Tell me what you think, sports Wikipedia, because NFL this season, I'm a New York Giants fan. I know the Eagles should be favored in the East. But the Cowboys are looking good there too. And I didn't realize they got the kid, the cornerback, from the Patriots. Forgot his name, but that's a big move. The Cowboys they had to trade for like it's a third string
Gilmore?
quarterback.
You're
Yeah,
older.
Gilmore. No, Gilmore's a big
Stephon
Stephen
Gilmore?
Gilmore. Big pickup. Big time pickup for the Cowboys. And they always they somehow always mess up the last 25 years of my life. Because they were they were like the Bulls back then in the 90s. Then when Dion got there, that was like bigger than Rob. Like Dion wasn't like before Iverson. Dion is the guy that kind of brought street culture to sports in a professional level. Nobody talks about that. Dion talks like the flashy dude. Heinz Horn was a great mover too.
Right.
Hakeem was around when Kareem was around. Hakeem torched him in the Western Conference Finals. Great point.
Ooh,
That was an older Kareem. It was an older Kareem.
He's been in the league for 17 years at that point.
Shaq Kareem comes in at 84.
No,
I mean,
Hakeem comes in at 84. I'm saying
so that's
Kareem would be a 17 years in the league because that series he's referring to is 86.
That's 17. Damn. Kareem was old as hell.
Right.
Shaq wouldn't dominate simply because of the offensive foul officiating. Yep. Hakeem, most skilled big man. Easily. Shaq benefits from Kobe, but teams got away with tons of missed fouls against them. I like Shaq, however, I'm not in love with Shaq. Lakers Shaq was literally somewhat a god in the center's position. Who around that time was really stopping him? Tom McCullough. That's a great point. All the centers started getting washed away by the 2000s, right, which is why I didn't mention that when
Wilt is going up against Bill Russell. That's different. We got to give him credit for that.
Right. Shaq, at least out of his prime, played against those defensive centers.
It was the year that Wilt won that first ring. He played Nate Thurman in the finals. He played Kareem in the conference. No, Nate Thurman in the finals, Bill Russell in the conference finals, and then the round before that, he didn't play a great center. He played against Oscar, but he didn't play necessarily a great center in that one. But played a role-playing center.
Aiden is a disgrace, man. Hilarious. Marion, Howard, and Terry said Dirk was always a vocal leader. Vocal leader?
Oh, wow. Well, then he had
never heard that before.
That's amazing that Fish is saying that.
Never heard that before, right? Dirk is the greatest mid-range shooter. Think about all the moves he had during his prime. He was shooting around 45-50% for mid-range while having high volume attempts. I wouldn't say the greatest mid-range shooter.
Better than
he
Mike.
Should have been. Yeah, right. Mike is up there. KD's up there. Kawhi Leonard is fucking amazing, bro. At mid-range, I just can't. DeMar DeRozan. I don't know if Kobe's on
DeRozan in the regular season.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, come on. Kawhi Leonard is good. I think Kobe has better post game than him though, than Kawhi.
Okay. AD has that.
I have reasons, by the way. I literally have so many reasons because I watch Kawhi every night, so I know the flaws compared to Kobe. But
he's more stiff.
Way more.
I'll say that.
He cannot get the same amount of shots. The variance in shots that Kobe could get off, Kawhi can't do that. Like 3 dribbles or more at that point, he doesn't really get the same like elevation, the same separation that Kobe got. You know?
I'll also say this about Kobe. He does more of the kick out, give me the ball back, get back in position kind of deal that Steph Curry does. That's what Steph Curry doesn't get credit for. He'll give you 2 little dribbles, 2 little dribbles. He'll give the ball up, take it back, and make another move again. Kobe was better with that than Kawhi. Kawhi kind of like is a robot with that stuff. AD has that KG otherworldly defensive ability. Who was better, KG or AD defensively? That's tough.
Such a good question.
That's tough because KG didn't get to play these guys in this era, and everyone would have really seen. And I know you disagree with this, Dom. Like what he did to T-Mac. You got just watch footage of Kevin Garnett games against the Orlando Magic. We saw it in the All-Star game initially. Kevin Garnett locked T-Mac up, and we used to laugh because T-Mac looks like he's 6'11" on the court. He looks like he's the same size as Kevin Garnett. It's hilarious. AD over Giannis. Now, bro, what he did for Milwaukee is different.
Didn't say
we're just
that.
talking about skill.
I said Anthony Davis should have won Defensive Player of the Year 2020. That's all I said.
Agreed, Fabian. Giannis will never be a fluid scorer. He needs to add some basic post moves, and he'll be far more dominant. I say he should study some of Shaq's basic drop steps, jump up. Oh, yeah, Shaq too. Like a little drop step in the paint would be vicious. Vicious.
At times, he was hitting this against Phoenix, and then he just doesn't go to it anymore. It just feels weird.
But remember, people, the older they get, they kind of, a little more weight on them. It's tough. Like he would have to, I think Kareem is more of the guy he has to look at because Kareem is the guy that started losing weight, became a vegan. Not that Giannis is out of shape, but he might have to lose some weight because he might get too like muscular and stiffens him up. Pause. Giannis' issue is developing a jumper. Why would you want he's gonna take 45 seconds to shoot every jump shot all the time, and it's gonna get worse the
but
older
if he
he
could have a
gets.
mid-range, dude, it would really change things for him.
How is he gonna get a mid-range?
I don't know. Keep working. Do you think he's incapable of it?
It's where he's gonna get the ball and have to
If
hold
that's
it
the
from
case,
where.
then if that's the case, then he needs to post up a lot more, because a guy that can't shoot starting his moves from beyond the foul line facing up against the defense is not the only thing he's gonna do is charge in right at you. Everyone knows what the fuck he's gonna do.
Exactly.
Okay,
That's why learning the jump hook be great. Like once you get the ball, right, become a post player, you get the ball, and you kind of gotta be able to read the defense and be able to kick the ball back out and move. Like it's gonna take an interesting coach. That's part of the problem too. That Budenholzer, I don't think, is that innovative, and maybe they don't have the personnel for it either. Sorry, guys, I'm losing my voice. Don't think Giannis is nearly coordinated enough or skilled enough to master the skyhook. No one has done it before or since Kareem, and Giannis damn sure won't be the next. I'm sorry, you might be right, Jesse. Giannis will learn he needs it. Wilt and LeBron, I can't agree on that. Wilt was a monster. So was LeBron, bro. Jordan went against the league that was more geared on bigs. I agree. Jordan proved that the two guard was essential and made it a legit threat. They also changed the rules to favor him. What Wilt complained about, what Isaiah Thomas, the Detroit Pistons, Bill Laimbeer all complained about. They made it more lenient for him, so he led the way for it. Until AD has the same dominant finals run like Giannis did in 2021, you can't tell me that AD is better. Healthy, AD's in the conversation with anybody, bro.
He's not better than Giannis, though. Because Giannis had that alpha dog mentality to lead teams.
We've yet to see 82 games of AD. Right?
He was in New Orleans.
We're never going to see it. We're never going to see the motor. And
he played 70 games.
But that's what Giannis has over him. The heart. He's not a tin man.
That's why he's not better, though.
Right. He's showing up and he's going hard. Being more talented doesn't make you better. Terminator 92. We totally agree. Facts, Terminator. Knicks are stuck in the middle, too good to get an elite player via the draft, not good enough to take a leap forward to a real contender. NBA purgatory. I'd rather be bad and hope for a top pick. That is totally false. None of our we have Jalen Brunson and Julius Randle, who should easily be making top 10 money, and they do not. That is not purgatory. At any given time, you can trade either one of them for a big time player, Giannis, who might be on his way out that he announced. Meanwhile, they announced that and they signed both of his brothers in Milwaukee. Could have been a ploy to get both of his brothers money. I love the scam. Thank you very much, Giannis. You proved to be a tough man. But we're not in purgatory. We meaning the Knicks. Stop believing Draymond. You're one of the Golden State fans that hate Draymond, right? But you loved him when he was kicking everybody in the nuts. That would be like saying Arvydas Sabonis is better than Shaq. Vince Carter, Tracy McGrady is better than Kobe Bryant. Why? Because we're talking about like a skill set. You need an elite player to win chips. I feel for New York fans. No elite player is available for trade as of now, not unless you count Harden. But you see, everyone says that, but at a certain point, the Harden thing is hilarious. At a certain point, I think they could be, and you should be, ready. Stay ready. I would rather do this than like, what is the option? The alternative is to get a fake star like Carmelo again. I don't know. Shaq destroyed Defensive Player of the Year winner Mutombo in 2001. The fact that he was Defensive Player of the Year in 2001 is kind of like whatever to me. That was how many years in? And he was 60 years old by that time. I don't care what his birth certificate says. Nick's problem is just being consistent. They don't have consistency or stability. Hopefully they get it building with Brunson. Listen, I can totally root for Brunson, man. Mutombo was not in his prime. Thank you. Did y'all just see it's a rumor Draymond got arrested for defending LeBron? What? What rumor was this? May be true, but he was by far the best defender on the Sixers. Knicks need to hope Giannis or Embiid end up being available in the not so distant future. And if they do, they are willing to take RJ Randall, picks one of them, jump on it ASAP. I mean, definitely RJ Barrett. Or something. The biggest Kobe fan in the world, but he should have destroyed the Sixers that final series. Who the F was guarding him? Eric Snow, Aaron McKee, Raja Bell, who the third was.
Raja Bell, I heard, I've heard Raja Bell did a really good job.
I mean, I don't think Kobe was ready yet for some reason. And Phoenix was Philadelphia was a really good defensive team.
He averaged like 20 in the playoffs. Can't tell me he wasn't ready.
Oh, this is real. TMZ dropped the video. He slapped the bartender defending LeBron.
I know there was a real video on TMZ, but I don't know if there wasn't a video of him slapping anybody. It was just the police taking him somewhere, I think. But I don't know if that was actually why.
Randall and RJ both shot chuckers, eating majority of the cap. Got to get rid of those guys. Yes, Jerome Bettis. That's how he plays basketball. The bus. Tony PR, what's up? Oh, he's being sarcastic about the whole thing. Tim Duncan, 2003 championship up there. Only player to average 2015, 5 assists, 2 blocks, championship playoff run. Oh, okay, false rumor. Hilarious. That's still hilarious. I'm running with it. Fuck it. Larry Bird, top 10 all time. Why not? Pete Maravich, 1970s, had all these crazy moves. I mean, Pistol Pete. LeBron went games without making a 3 in the playoffs this year. Horrendous. T won with the Bucks. Jeff T was on the Bucks with 2021. Damn, that's crazy. LeBron chucked like 5 straight threes in the fourth when it was closing game 1 and 2. Oh, that's right. Instead of going to the basket. I wish y'all could have been in Dallas with me when Deion signed 9. Whoa, you were there? In 93, 94 on the Welcome to Dallas party. Oh my, do you understand how big of a Deion fan I was? And it happened to me twice. I was a big Alex Rodriguez fan, and then he went to the Yankees, and I was disgusted, and I turned in my Alex Rodriguez jersey. When Deion went to Dallas, I'm a Giants fan. I was so disgusted, man. But must be the money was out. His new sneakers came out, which my cousin had. I wanted to borrow them, but the sneakers are too small. That's crazy. Deion, one of God's favorites. Of course, Bird's top 10. He's top 10. Marshall Faulk or Eric Dickerson? Marshall Faulk, bro. Eric
Dickerson. That's my guy.
No
He's Rams legend. I have to ride with him. I didn't get to see either of them in play, so I have to go with Eric Dickerson.
Marshall Faulk is totally overlooked as the best running back of all time.
I'm going.
Never
Eric.
fumbled.
Doesn't he still have the record? Doesn't he still have the record for most rushing yards in a season?
Eric Dickerson?
Adrian Peterson passed him.
Either Peterson passed him or I thought Chris Johnson passed him.
I'm going.
I want to say Chris Johnson passed him before looking it up on the Titans that year. But Marshall Faulk he would kill in any era. Again, what I always talk about, when your skills translate to any era, you're a different kind of guy. He can run the ball up the middle. He can shake you up, stiff arm you. He was a tough dude. The injuries played them on the Colts, and they kind of played them on the Rams. He's part of one of the best offenses ever. Nah, Marshall Faulk's a different level. Anyone MVP, if I'm not mistaken. Teague winning on the Bucks was no more important than Sally with the Lakers or Robert Parrish with the Bulls. You asking why they had the parade? Oh my God. Wilt would kill the league today, especially with his post fade plus his crazy size. Wilt made Shaq look like a child. I don't know about that.
He's talking about that picture the video where they're shaking hands at center court, and Wilt does make him look like not small, but like just not as gigantic. And it's just wild how big he is.
Yeah,
you see that video?
That's true.
And he's wearing like street clothes, like 45 years old.
That's crazy with the crazy receding hairline. MJ at 1, Kareem at 2. One player who would kill in the league today is Charlie Scott.
That's a great name, bro. That's a great name. I'm studying him in the season I'm on right now. The Swires. This fool puts up like 40 every night. Like it's wild. Him and Dr. J, their stats every night are crazy. That's a great duo early on. But
one player who he also interesting how Kyrie ended up wearing the number 11. Brunson couldn't be a number 2. Just got to find the number 1. I agree. But he was on to the Baltimore. Well, he can be a number 1 scorer. He just has to.
Not on a championship team. Not on a championship.
Yeah, a championship team, bro. Definitely. He just remember.
How many guards that size have been the number 1 scorer on a championship team? Period.
Right, but we're in an age where the guard is a new number 1 guy, like it was back in the day.
Steph Curry's the only one to do it. That's what we're in the age of.
Okay, but he also had the right team for it. All I'm saying is that Rick Brunson, Jalen Brunson went to a Western Conference Finals. Let's not forget. He wasn't the number 1 option.
A Cinderella run that no one expected him to actually win the championship. There's a different level that you have to get to win it all.
Okay.
Keep going.
Cool your beans. Jalen Brunson also needs teammates to help him out, bro. Brunson needs help. Needs a big to help. Bucks most underrated team in the 1980s, 50+ wins every year, 81 and 87. Most underrated. I don't think they're underrated. I just think they're going to be, in 5th, 6th, or 6th place compared to all those dynasty-like teams. The Pistons, the Sixers went to 4 finals from the late 70s to early 80s. The Rockets went to what 2 finals in the 80s. Even Michael Jordan's Bulls are not up there until the late 80s. I don't think the Bucks were as good as the late 80s Bulls. You know what I mean? Like, it's just tough because they were missing that one guy. And of course, they got my guy Don Nelson, who might be the best coach ever. Sports Wikipedia.
Whoa.
Dickerson was him. Ooh.
Let's go.
Marshall Faulk, elite two-way running back. Marshall Faulk put up 1,000 rushing yards and 1,000 receiving yards in 1999. Thank you, Sports Wikipedia. He was crazy.
We're almost at the end here.
What was Willis Reed never spoken much amongst the greats?
If you follow Dime Dropper channel, you know about Willis Reed. I've made a bunch.
Willis
of
Reed, and you will also know that Willis Reed, after Marv Albert said the next most competitive player that he ever seen after Willis Reed was Michael Jordan. That's when I gained a different level of respect.
Another one of these centers that Bill and Wilt saw a lot during their careers, but I digress.
And he damn near knocked out your man. What's the point?
Rudy LaRusso?
No. Well, he knocked out the whole damn Lakers. But I'm talking about your man Calvin Murphy. When he warned him, he said, Calvin, you my guy, but I make my money down here. Don't come back here again.
Hands, though. Dr. Hawk says Calvin Murphy had hands, though.
He might have, but he did not even try it with Willis Reed, apparently. He got his ass knocked out.
Every time you watch Willis Reed, oh, my bad.
No, every time you watch Willis Reed.
Willis Reed footage, dude, every loose rebound that's like bobbling around, once he gets his hands on it, like, it's like Kawhi. Like he's gonna grab the ball. Like, it's kind of wild. Lou Carnesecca says he had those big mitts.
He was 6'9", right?
Yeah, 6'9", 6'10", probably 6'10" in shoes, but he has great hands. But anyway, that was it. Willis is slept on. Appreciate everybody for coming today, guys. I really appreciate it. Make sure you subscribe to everything.
You could do that. You can log over if you want. I'm gonna read the comments that I like from
done.
No, from the video, from the Larry Bird video.
Oh, okay. Hey, thanks for everybody showing love. Make sure you subscribe at Dime Dropper Pod on everything. And of course, please hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell. If you haven't hit the notification bell for my channel, please do. Content coming. I think I'm gonna make a video tomorrow. And of course, Thursday, we got a special video on Earl Monroe's trade. Me and Fabian are gonna make the biggest trade in Knicks history, bigger than the Melo trade. Then tomorrow, I may be doing my top 10 players in the NBA right now. Maybe. All right. Have a great day, everyone. Have a great night.
Peace out, Dime.
See you, Fabian.
Willis' hands are humongous. See you later. Willis was crazy strong. I just like Willis Reed. He's just one of these lunatics. I want to show all you guys love. We our Larry Bird video that we put on the thumbnail. We said he was overrated, but we didn't mean that. We were holding him down. There were a lot of people who were just, it was the Legend of Winning from the Players' Choice show or their channel, where they didn't say he was necessarily overrated, but they just had him top 10 out of the top 10 and didn't understand why he was top 10. And, we broke down and Larry Bird's career and showed him a lot of love. And a lot of you guys just showed us love with the comments, and really it was Larry Bird showing him a lot of love. But it became our most watched video. Just amazing. We're probably about to become monetized because of it. Shout out to all you guys of subscribers, all the comments and all the love and support you guys show us that make us keep going. I speak for everybody when I say, we're really gonna keep this thing going. We love what we talk about, we love what we do, and you guys really helped us out get to this point where we're gonna, take it to the next level. And this video here with Larry Bird, all the comments you guys shared about us and just about Larry Bird, it was amazing. A lot of you guys mentioned how it was the first time seeing the channel and you were just impressed with us, or just like what we were saying, and you like the chemistry or just the codes in general. So a lot of love to y'all. Appreciate it. It's Fabian Perspective, AllBall TV, Four Sportsman, every Sunday at 8 p.m. Usually. It's Labor Day weekend. I'm out of here. And hope you enjoyed your weekend and hope you enjoy the rest of your week.